welcome Wolfpack. Here we are. 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining us tonight. Got so much lined up for you, it's not even funny. So thank you to all of you for joining us. Really appreciate it. A little bit on the old tardy side going live, but you know how we do. So yes, indeed, that is what we are here today.
Critical alert.
We have indeed finally got through that 1,000 subscriber barrier. It took a long time, way longer than it should have done. There's reasons for that. We'll talk about it later on as this show carries on. We got loads of things to talk about. Also, I'll be looking at what's coming up in 2025 for this channel. What products and survival gear am I working on and bringing to market or going to be prototyping in 2025? And what skills that I'm going to be helping you guys to gather and learn and perfect and knowledge over the next year. People say 2025 is the year it's all going to happen. We shall see. We need to be prepared before that. So we're all running out of time. We all need to act now. So we're looking at some of the videos I've already put out that you can catch up on if you're new to this channel. As many of you appear to be, a good sort of like 20% of you have joined in the last sort of month. So thank you to each and every one of you who has. Really appreciate it. 28 people live in the chat. Please do vote live in the poll we've got rocking for you. You'll see it there. I did, as usual, I took a screenshot of it before we went live, before anybody had voted in it. Because you won't see what the percentages are until you've given it a good old... But for those that are watching this afterwards or can't see it live, what prepping knowledge or skills are you hoping to maximize or achieve for 2023? What prepping knowledge or skills are you hoping to maximize or achieve for 2025? Security and self-defense, off-grid energy systems, medical and health, or food/water prepping and storage. So there are your 4 options. This will give me great insight as to what I should, perhaps in what order I should start getting some of these things ready for you guys, and some we'll do some SHTF scenarios as well, as I was doing before, which everyone thoroughly enjoys, the full-on 40-slide presentations. We'll be getting back to that as well, so don't worry. So thank you to those that are voting live in the poll tonight. That information is going to be super useful moving forward, and it will be good to gauge where people's knowledge and skill sets are. I'm sure it's all going to be very different, but we'll see. But while you're there, please do get yourself joined up on the Discord server. It's completely free. The Sigma Prepper Discord community group is such a wonderful place to be. Wealth of information, and check out all of our new joiners as well. Esoteric Sovereign. We got Straubs there. A for Anarchy, is it? We've got Suma Outdoor. Thank you so much. I think I've wolf-hearted all of you. And again, someone here talking about prepper from the Netherlands, mainly interested in off-grid comms and tech. Loads of it in this video I did prepping for 2023, security and defenses. Definitely check that out. It's a 3-hour-long live stream. That's probably about 50 presentation slides on that one. It's all covered, including using simulated Google Earth situation, kind of, you know, you gotta watch it. So Ribana there as well. So thank you to our newest joiners, really appreciate you. And yeah, get yourself in there. We will be doing our after party as usual tonight, and it's typically with the VIP Patreon members only, but because, you know, Christmas spirit and all that, right? Up until Christmas, we're leaving it as open to the after party for the public. So we always public after party here. That's where we'll be after this show tonight. Celebrating, chatting about whatever we want. It's a voice chat. We can all talk to each other and talk about other topics that perhaps we don't get to talk about on the show, or go into more detail on some of the things I'm going to show you tonight with my plan for 2025. Some of the survival gear I'm working on, some of the prototypes I'm in the middle of. We should have the lab cam set up. Yes, we do. So we've got my my Sentry turret, which is still in development, but she'll be rocking a bit later. So I'll have to turn the lasers and everything on. But yeah, I've got the few bits I'll be talking about. Some other things in development as well. I'll give you a little bit of an insight into what this is that I'm also working on, which is my Tactical Intelligence Assistant, aka Tia. Most of you know who she is already and what she does. But I'll give you a little bit of an insight of what I've got rocking here and what I'm developing. And of course, as well, a lot of people have asked me about my tactical security with the comms and surveillance kit, which looks like this. And it's got all sorts of goodies in there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight and what the plan is for that in 2025 as well in terms of the Sigma Prepper survival gear. I've got loads coming out. And of course, there's a bunch of stuff already there available for you in terms of over on the sigmaprepper.com website, you'll see survival gear. This is the website here, look. Get prepared. So I haven't done an awful lot to this since I built this website back in 21, 22. But it's coming on great. I need to get the newsletter on there as well added on. Let's go to survival gear page. But the newsletter will be good for people who are really interested in my book, for example, The Ultimate Guide to Prepping. That'll be out 2025 as well. I'll give you a few little sneak peeks at that. So that'll be available to the Patreon VIP members and also in the shops. So along with the others. So this is another thing here you can download for free, the virus prediction tool. I originally developed this in 2020, January of 2020. I did briefly mention it, but you've got things like this that are fully available for free. Yeah, and it basically breaks down everything you'd need to know about that. But yeah, and then we got the Ultimate Hotspot as well. I'll give you a little brief thing of that because we have had, the one is going to be shipped out tomorrow. So that's all good and good. And of course, we've also launched the exclusive merch by popular demand. Loads more of that coming 2025. So yeah, we've got things to get through. We certainly do. But first and foremost, before we do any of that bidney, we need to be making sure we're giving some respect and saying hello to those wonderful peeps in the chat. So, Robert McNamara, first in the house. Great to see you, man. VIP member, Wolfpack member, absolute friend of the channel, fellow prepper. I mean, what can I tell you? Yeah, top geezer. Everyone wants to be Robert when it comes to Christmas time because it's beautiful family when they all get together. Thank you so very much, Robert. What a lovely comment. Congratulations, Drew. No one deserves this more than you do. Let's see if I cry during the show tonight. Thank you, Robert. I do appreciate it, man. It's been an uphill struggle. Pedigree Mungle in the house. What an absolute legend. Great to see you, my man. Again, you've been there through thick and thin. Through more than just this channel, you've been with me from other channels as well, man. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all of our special peeps being here. Daily Survival, the moderator of all moderators. Thank you so much for being my head of security and head of the Wolfpack investigation team. I know that investigation team's pretty massive right now. So whenever we get trolls, whenever we get people making threats and things like this, having sort of like 60 plus people that are just on it immediately. We've got ex-cyber threat hackers. We've got ex-police officers in this group. It's absolutely amazing. So it's brilliant when somebody starts putting silly things in comments and then, you know, it's like the whole known knowns, your unknown knowns and your unknown unknowns. These people have so many unknown unknowns, it's not even funny. So from the outside looking in, it's, you know, checkers versus chess sort of a thing. So I have to thank each and every one of this Wolfpack team who helped to keep this channel secure, who helped to keep me and everybody who's part of this safe, so we don't have to worry about trolls, nasty people with wrong intentions, and that's what separates this channel from one of the channels that we've been talking about recently. So thank you to everyone who joined in on that. I hope it was received well. So thank you, newcomers, welcome to Receiver Pack Grow. So thank you to everyone who's had my back and stuff. And hello, Antonia, my absolute darling. Great to see you. Welcome. And I did see, did you not join the Discord server as well, my darling? I seem to think you did. Happy Olympic with us. Well done, Drew. Thank you very much. Think you'll blast past 10k by the end of January. You deserve it. Only if YouTube lets me. More about that later. You know me, I like to bring receipts. It was a struggle putting up the decorations with Maya. Bless Maya as well. Absolute love to Maya. She's our little Wolfpack pup member, if you like. Talking of Wolfpack, and I'm gagging to have a sip of my tea and it doesn't seem right because we need to do a proper toast and a quote, right? Or at least I need to say thank you and recognition. I'll tell you what's interesting as well. It seems like everything happens at once. So let's do it. Thank you to each and every one of you for being who you are. Thank you for helping to get this channel to where it's got to, despite all the resistance and all of the shadowing and all of the other things that have stopped this thing getting out there. Clearly, the way I describe things, the way I get into the detail I do, and as someone who writes books and develops products and things, you know, you would think that it would be easy to get out there, especially with a background in marketing and running a media business and representing 80 plus YouTube channels over the years with every tool you can possibly imagine, think I have, which is again so funny when anyone on YouTube thinks they have anonymity when they've spent 18 years doing what I do here on YouTube for multiple clients over the years who own YouTube channels. So far we've managed to rid this channel of any trolls and any nasty people, which has been thankfully because of that and all these other things. But it has been tricky getting here, and we want to keep it clean. So to each and every one of you for helping us get here, love, peace and progress to the pack. And I love each and every one of you, and thank you for everybody who's contributed, whether that's with knowledge, with skills, with debates, with disagreements. As I said the last few days, if both people agree on everything, then one of them isn't needed in a conversation. Thank you for being those people. Love to you all. Cheers, everyone. To Sigma Prepper. And may I also say a special congratulations, super proud of you, my man, to my son, me and Mrs. Sigma Prepper's son, Magic Hand there in the chat, who have raised such a wonderful young lad. He's 16, and over this weekend they had their special Christmas do for the Army cadets. He's a very he's very well regarded Army cadet. He represents the country as a marksman at only the age of 16. Absolutely floors anyone on any level, even when we both did our mixed martial arts and when we got to our brown belts, with the black belt being before he was 16, it was just like everything about the way this lad has grown up has been perfect. And this weekend he achieved his Lance Corporal promotion, youngest cadet to get that kind of a promotion, and a 2-star as well. So he's now 2-star cadet, and so really proud of you, my man. So love to you. Wow, what a geezer. He's going to know more than me soon. So but thank you to everyone as well for your support that's kept me going while things have been tough, so that I can be there for him and the family and do what I've been doing for all of you all at the same time. And thank you to all the emails I get of people telling me the ways that I've helped them, the way my videos both now and previously have got you through the you-know-what. That's the thing that really excites me and it brings me back to the table every day. So let's go through the chat. Sorry, we haven't even touched the service yet, and I need to catch up with real-time chat. So how in nearly 2 decades of being Prepper with Prepper Family have I not come across this wonderful and logical channel? Glad to be here. Thank you so very much. It has been absolutely, totally, utterly stomped into the ground. There's been a lot of reasons for that. My channel went woomph straight away immediately, and then stopped and hit a brick wall. And then the day after, when you tried searching for me, bear in mind, I'm an award-winning web designer. I was designing websites before Google even existed in like 97, 98. And so I'm known for SEO, right? Search engine optimization. And so by day 2, after suddenly I hit a brick wall and some of my videos went viral, then you started searching for Sigma Prepper on Google, for example, and it would just pretend it had never heard of me before. Whereas the day before, when you search Sigma Prepper on Google, literally 5 pages, every single entry was me, which you would expect from someone who's spent 20 years also in that industry, right? I'm running a media company, for crying out loud. So it was quite obvious that it was you. I was like, here we go again. It's going to be, they've got me, God forbid somebody who actually knows what they're talking about is allowed to actually speak and help people to not make mistakes. It seems like the people who are most likely to misinform and disinform and things, whether they're knowingly or accidentally, there seems to be the ones that are pushed ahead and land on everybody's homepage, and the people that come with what I see as a bit of rational, critical and normal thinking for normal people, trying to represent this preparedness community in the way that I feel we should be, rather than the way that people think that the other people think that they should be, right? And without getting into it, that's kind of how we got here over the last couple of days with this funky prepper situation, because clearly it's coming up a lot in the chat and things, and there's been comments all over it. Yeah, and I just think maybe I'll tell you what, actually, because I don't know how many people saw it, so we can just put it to bed now, right? So on both of these videos here, the ones that to do with everyone keep asking me what's going on with Funky Prepper, and then I saw that video coming out which said that which said that he had got removed from YouTube, and I was just showing that no, that's not the case, and here's the reasons why with the tools I use to check things like that, right? But I don't think, for those that didn't, I don't think anyone read the first comment that's on here. And you'll notice I've gone through and liked and loved everybody's comment like I always do, whether you hate me or love me or whatever. It doesn't matter, because as I said before, if both people in the conversation agree on everything, one of them isn't needed, right? There's a reason why this channel is so different from Funky Prepper, which is obviously it's free market economics. Yeah, the people that feel they connect with someone like me more will feel like, you know, I represent them more. The people that feel like someone like Funky Prepper represents them more, of course, they're going to feel like they're better off learning with his teaching style or with the things that he's teaching with them. It's perfectly okay, right? I mean, Jesus, man, I spent my life in product development. You know, the products that I've developed for my clients, they're not expected to be loved by every person. Some of them are feminine products, for example, I've even designed, right? So I have to think through the eyes of, what do they want? What do they need, right? And it does seem that this pilgrim here, for example, is one of the ones making death threats. I've also had already somebody threatening to kill my dog Hugo over me doing this video. It's like, wow. And they're all people who really, really sort of loyal, die-hard Funky fans seem to be the ones here with all of the swear words, all of the whatever, all of the threats, all of the, you know, enjoy that boot on your neck. It's just things like this all the way through. So like I say, the people are going to be feeling like they connect more with certain types of people, talking about certain types of things in a certain way, more than they will me. That's cool. That's exactly why Sigma Prepper is Sigma Prepper, and why our Wolfpack is such a tight group of people who love each other, and it's all about bringing people together. In fact, let me just read you my comment, the first one I put on there, and then we can put it to bed. Hey Wolfpack. Firstly, thank you to those that joined me for this epic live analysis session. It was great to see you all and discuss our thoughts and opinions together. I'd like to reiterate my intention behind this video discussing this creator being absent from the internet over the last month or so. While it was claimed this absence is due to a ban from YouTube, my live analysis of YouTube's policies, social blade analytics, and his channel's monetization status using the monetization tracker, as shown in this video, clearly suggests otherwise. Combine this with the complete silence across all of his social media, in my opinion, points more to, there's the keyword, in my opinion, points more towards legal issues such as an arrest under the UK's strict hate speech and incitement laws. As highlighted in my analysis, this individual's use of symbolic imagery like the Gadsden flag, the Union Jack, and even his logo featuring a hunting knife, alongside frequent content with bladed items and weapons, represents a stereotypical and caricature-like image of what a survivalist or prepper looks like. This portrayal not only threatens our industry's reputation, but also brings undue scrutiny to all creators in this space. That's why I have a dog in this race. That's what it's got to do with me. Yeah, I've invested a lot of money, time and effort into this business. Yeah. To be clear, to my global audience, in the UK, discussing sensitive topics like immigration, especially in a negative light, can already draw attention from authorities due to the potential for inciting hatred or violence. When such commentary is coupled with symbolic imagery like the Gadsden flag and the Union Jack, it rightfully raises red flags for security and intelligence services through their eyes. The Gadsden flag, with its "Don't Tread on Me" slogan, is often associated with libertarian and right-wing movements, often linked to anti-government sentiments. The Union Jack, while a national symbol, has in recent years been co-opted by certain groups as a symbol of nationalism and anti-immigration sentiment. Yeah? Do the math. Is the math mathing or not, right? Come on. Authorities will likely have perceived the combination of these flags in the backdrop of anti-immigration rhetoric as indicative of extremist views or potential radicalization. From the comments I've had from the funky lovers in my comments, I think that's already happened. Yeah? Since if his moderators and his followers and people are even claiming to live in countries where they don't even live in, which is quite interesting, right? But if those people are already threatening to kill me and my dog because I'm questioning where Funky Prepper is and why, then think what he's able to do to people like that when it comes to talking about people turning up on the shores in boats. This context is crucial, right? So this is, you know, talking about the flags in the backdrop of anti-immigration rhetoric as indicative of extremist views of potential radicalization. This context is crucial. While displaying these flags alone isn't illegal or necessarily problematic, their use in a certain narrative can amplify concerns for security services. They might view the individual as someone who could inspire or incite others to action, just like we've seen here on my channel, right? All of the threats, all of the violence, all of the slinging mud, all of the name calling, it seems to be coming from this direction. So is it a wonder, right? Is someone who can inspire others to action, especially if the rhetoric crosses into hate speech or incitement territory? Hate speech? How about death threats to your own dog, let alone you and your family already in the last 2 days from me doing a video about it? It's amazing. Oh, God, if that doesn't prove anyone's point in the first place, I don't know what does. And you see all the people who followed me for a long time, you see what their responses to stuff is. It's just love and acceptance and understanding, right? Anyway, it's just incredible. Remember, this content creator has more than 139,000 subscribers that could be influenced by his social media content. And I ain't going to say that. It's essential for content creators to understand, this was the point of this video, it's essential for content creators to understand the weight of their words and the imagery they use. The combination of certain symbols and themes can be perceived as red flags by authorities, potentially leading to serious consequences. As influencers, we must tread carefully and be mindful of the impact our content may have. I'm trying to protect our industry and our space, not tear it apart. Wakey, wakey. Figure it out. We're playing chess up here, not checkers. Just think 2 moves ahead at least and you'll figure it out. But I just suggest you step away from the keyboard for 10 seconds while you do that, because it will just, one of those things that comes to mind. Better remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Sigma Prepper stands for values that are the polar opposite of what this individual represents. Like I say, if you don't like my style, our brand is about community, love, legality, honesty, and decency. We bring people together rather than divide, and we prioritize intelligent, strategic preparedness, chess not checkers. I will continue to distance my brand from such negative stereotypes and clarify that this individual is not representative of our community despite his seemingly large following. Thank you again to all of those that were able to join me in the live chat and follow along with the real-time analysis as it happened. I trust my efforts in covering this topic over the last few videos have been received in the spirit intended. Love, peace and progress to Z-Pack. So after watching that video back just to see if there's anything in there that could be deemed as like all these allegations of stuff from the Funky Boys, right? I just thought maybe it's just easier to just write a summary of basically what I was trying to say there, and there it is in the comment. I mean, I don't know if anyone's even seen the comment, because it's people, all my own Wolfpack haven't even been in the comments. There's literally none of my crew are in here. None of my Wolfpack crew have even said a word in the chat. The only people who have even been in there to defend me have been people that only met me 2 days ago. None of the people over the last 2-3 years I've been doing videos for have even been in there and even said anything in my defense, and it's already 95% negative against, or 95%, should I say, positive for me. And of course, you've got your very small percentage of people who, So it's really frustrating, because I don't know how clearer they could all make themselves by the way they're acting with death threats and threatening to slash my dog's throats. What? Who says that? Who says that to someone who has come from a background where IP address tracking and cross-referencing is like a 3-second job? It's like these people... it's like literally playing with children. I'm sorry, but it's embarrassing. And you haven't even thought 2 steps ahead to see how you are exactly representing Funky Prepper's style of the people that think he's great, with the stuff he's been talking about and the way he's talking about it with his machete and all this all over the screen. Yeah? Come on. Yeah? Wakey, wakey. This is 2025 we're coming into. Things ain't the same as it was back then. And if you can't adapt and flow, then you're not gonna survive, as he hasn't, clearly. I told someone 8 months ago that exact same individual will probably find himself not online within 6 months. I was 1 month out. 1 month out. If you want to be a prepper and you want to be a survivalist, don't go through the apocalypse in a jail cell. Here's the first tip. Right, and see threats coming before they arrive. Otherwise, right? People go missing, and yes, therefore people make speculations, especially when the person comes back asking for money and the only excuse they've got that have been out of contact is a lie that my channel's been banned. No, it hasn't. That was the whole point of those videos, proving that. So I hope that just puts it to rest, because like I say, if anyone was confused about what those videos were about and why, I wanted to give people, the clue was in the title, have your say, right? I wanted to give people a platform that nobody else seemed to be doing in this space to say, this is what's happened. Everyone stop asking me where he is, because I don't care, because I don't follow him, and I'd rather... you know, I've got a very small percentage of people that have come to me from following him, and everyone that has seen the complete and utter contrast in the way and what we talk about. I don't want to take people from, there's no taking people from anyone. There's no like, oh, cash in it so you can get subscribers. No, I don't want subscribers, with all due respect, that have come from that, who think that threatening to slash people's dogs' throats and kill their family because I do a video saying I don't think that's exactly what's really going on here, and this is what I think's going on, and here's why. Tell me what you think. Do you agree? Where am I wrong? And even the people that are the most disagreeable, I invite them to come on my show as live guest, and they still refuse. It's like, well then, what more can I do? I hope you understand my point on this, and I didn't want to get into it. It's supposed to be celebratory 1,000 subscribers, but you have to set the tone in terms of, look, just understand who Sigma Prepper is, understand who me, Drew Law, is. Yeah? Which is why it makes me cringe when I see his videos, because the whole point of my brand was to not be that, was to show people from normal working life, yeah, who with professional careers, who don't want to be rocking around in a camo jacket and, you know, chewing tobacco and shit. Yeah? They just want to learn the skills and some, like, clever stuff, right? That means that they can take out anyone, yeah, in terms of risk and vulnerability, and take out all of the vulnerabilities from all the things without having to be a commando. Commandos are the first people to come unstuck in a crisis, don't forget. Yeah? Right, I'm way back in the chat. Right, back in the room. Let's get this party started. Good call. Good call. And to make up for my little ranty poos, yeah? Do it. I know I don't deserve it, but please, it does help the channel. And if you don't feel like I've done anything that's likable, then at least vote in the live poll so I can get an idea of how I can formulate my content around your weak spots and things like this that you'd like to know more about, and then perhaps I might deserve a like when I do a video exactly helping you to maximize your skills or knowledge in that area. If you'll trust me to do that, I'll trust you to be nice and welcome me into our wolf pack with open paws. Yeah, that's how we roll here. And if that sounds like something that you could get into and enjoy learning from all that, then this is a place that starts with the old Discord community server, because it means that even when YouTube doesn't put out notifications to people, I always do an announcement over here on the Discord server, and if you're joined, you will get a notification relentlessly. So it's a great place to be. Plus, after this show tonight, we've got our after party. It's going to be rocking their voice, which I've been doing open to the public rather than just for VIPs up until Christmas. So do take advantage of that, because that will be turned off soon. And I know a lot of people have been in there a lot of nights and really enjoyed our conversations and the knowledge in there when we're helping to solve people's problems when it comes to prepping. Whether you're a single lone woman, disabled, whether you're like, you know, a mate with 3 brothers who've got all the gear, no idea, right? It doesn't matter where you fit into that. We're all here for you, right? So get your memes and your Sigma quotes in there as well. We'll be having some quotes coming up in a minute, so we'll see what we've had in. And of course, Preppers Progress, we're going to be kicking back off next week, so please do get your Preppers Progress in there and let us know what you've been doing for your preps and any little wins you've had that we can celebrate. I'll have some as well to share with that. So it's all going on there, plus the entire Prepping Intel knowledge base, whether it's bushcraft you want to learn about, homesteading, communications, right? It's all in there. you need to get and have a look. And if you've got anything you want to contribute, then please go and do. That's what makes it the great place that it's become. Thanks to you fine Wolfpack peeps. Don't forget, we got my robot sentry turret that's been in production for some time, which is going to be part of the Sigma Prepper Ultimate Security Tactical Kit. This will sit at the end of the front of your property, and it will automatically track people as they walk past, and will have the ability to make people run away, let's just say, with auto laser targeting and thermal vision and stuff like that as well, to give a great remote reconnaissance up to about a 2-mile range. You can both control and view the footage back from it. So we're going to be looking into that, as long as an entire massive array of things on here that I want to show you. That is what I'm going to be working on in 2025 to bring you with some of the new Sigma Prepper survival gear that I've been working on. Some of the things are already out there. Some of the things are in prototype form. Some are ideas sketched on a pad, if you know what I mean. It's a combination of things. So it's going to be a great year for everyone if you stick with me. And I appreciate each and every one of you that does. Local Prepper in the house. Great to see you, my man. Thank you for being with us. And so I'm going to be way back in the chat, so do apologise. I might have to skip through. I hope everything's looking good in there. I'll just try and pull out the people that I see their name first time. So Dr. Gonzo, great to see you, my man. Thank you for being with us. Kaza, my favouriteest person in London. A great catch up with Kaza and the crew last night. Was it last night, Kaza, or was it the night before? I can't remember. Every day's a blur right now. Again, I only had about 4 hours sleep today. Didn't get to sleep about 7:30 in the morning this morning. It's been a nightmare. Anyway, tell the boy. Cypher, Della, my darling, thank you so very much. And again, cheers to you with your Sigma Prepper merch. That's currently in production and on its way to you, Della. Thank you, my darling. I'm glad I got to see your name in the chat tonight on such a special night with my 1,000 subscriber type Ask Me Anything. It's difficult to ask me anything, really, though, when I'm not even looking at the live chat, but I am now. Don't tase me, bro. Right? We're getting there. Just enough time to get the kettle on when this tune starts. Oh, look how far back we are. I'm so sorry. Lone Wolf, thank you for joining us. Magic Hand, my beautiful Mrs. Sigma Prepper. Magic Hand. There's Hugo Bear in her icon, look, with his shades on. John C, one of our VIP Patreon members. Really appreciate you being with us. John, good evening, Preppers. Good evening, John. Great to see you. Welcome. Tamara as well. Good to see you coming up and your name pop up again. Thank you, viewers. Paul C as well. Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate you, my man. One of our latest VIP Patreon member sign-ups. And don't forget, you know what Paul's got basically shipping out tomorrow for him is the old Ultimate, the Sigma Prepper original exclusive Sigma Prepper Ultimate Hotspot. Not this one. Yours is sitting up there on top of a new box that I've just unfolded or folded. You know, when you buy those posh boxes that I use, they're like flat packs. You have to... Yeah. So you'll probably see that. You'll get a tracking number tomorrow, Paul. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Trying to get back to where I was. Sorry, everyone. I know this is really boring for everyone. It's like, oh, God, dude, come on, just get on with it. It's like, all right, yeah, you know. Amphi in the house. Great to see you. It's sad that content creators can't be arrested for thought crimes. They can be arrested for thought crimes. It doesn't even get YouTube terms and conditions. Yeah. And again, you see, my job as somebody who helps people to prepare is also helping other content creators out there prepare for not getting taken down and not getting, you know, maced and tased. And, you know, get bail conditions that mean you're allowed to go on the internet and stuff, right? And have all your devices seized. I mean, if I can just stop one other content creator having that happen to them, right? Why is that a bad thing? Why? How could anyone see that as a bad thing? It's amazing, isn't it? Down the rabbit hole with D. Great to see you. Thank you for your contribution in the comments sections. Really appreciate your commitment in the comments in support of Funky Prepper. We'll call it commitment. 4x4 fella, I'm a bit confused on what part of Union Jack flag sets a bad image on a person. I've already explained that in that thing. Right, there's Pilgrim. Talking to the devil, I've left the better specimens tightly coiled in my commode than what I've seen from you. Like it. You see what I'm talking about? This is the representative I was talking. This is the Funky Prepper channel representative. His name's Pilgrim. I won't dox him and tell you what the other names he goes by and what his real name is and where he actually lives. But yeah, this is Pilgrim. This is the guy who's been, you know, quite committed. I really appreciate your contribution to your opinions, man. Don't forget, that's what I did for you. That was what I did that for you, right? Is to make that video so that you could have your say, right? And you've had your say, man. And so thank you. I really appreciate the boost and stuff, and yeah, and for helping people to sort of gain a better understanding as what people out there seem to be talking about with the kinds of people that have started to get a little bit radical following Funky Prepper. And thank you so much for giving us clear examples of that all over the place, Pilgrim. So thanks, my man. Couldn't have done it without you, Lich. So I'm sure Funky Prepper will thank you greatly. Miss Worm, Dark Woods presents. Good show today. It's getting pretty tight in the chat. You might need a bigger place to throw parties. Oh, what an absolute wonderful bunch. Asher, thank you for joining us, Asher. Trade, thought I would have a look, have a little sneaky peek, yeah? Little look behind the curtain, hey? Just walk straight in, man, yeah? Don't even need to take your shoes off here, yeah? Look, we're outside, man. Watching the shooting stars. We've got a camper there, so we can go back to it later. We've got our chairs here next to the fire. Yeah, we've got all sorts of things like marshmallows coming up in a minute. Yeah, just because it's the apocalypse doesn't mean you have to be uncomfortable, yeah? We do the apocalypse over here in style. Yeah? We're like, you know, we're like the apocalypse survivor glamping crew, right? We're the people that everyone else wants to be when we're owning a situation, right? In case you didn't know. Oh dear. And I'll show you some of the things that I'm going to be working on and have been working on that will give you an idea of how we do that without needing to be a commando and get yourself, you know, whooped inadvertently. So thank you very much. Who am I missing? UK Urban Prepper in the house. Thank you, my man. Great to see you. UK Urban Prepper. What's the competition up to? Competition. What's my partner up to? Yeah, Mr. T, great to see you. I'll catch up on your show earlier on. You did UK and Prepper. I thought I was going to have something ready way earlier, and I was like, rush around getting stuff and a little bit lastminute.com. I didn't even get up till later on because I didn't get to sleep till 7 o'clock. So, you know. Simo, what qualifies you as a prepper or an author? I'll tell you what, when you buy my book, you'll be the one telling me that. When you actually watch some of my videos, you'll be the one telling me that. Send me some of your videos, let's have a look. If you've got something you can teach me, believe me, how do you think I know as much as I do? It's because I listen to people. Yeah? Because I don't have an ego. I care about what's right, not who's right. I don't care who the information comes from, Pilgrim, right? I don't have an ego. Cheers. Chess, remember? Hello, Mike. Long time no see. Yeah, see, look here. This is what I was saying. Do you see the coincidence now? Look, so this is the other. This is one of the other. I think there's only 3 on the internet. But this is the other. This is the second Funky, the committed Funky fan. Who again had feeling this guy was a total shill. This live told me everything I need to know. It's like, wow. Do you see what I mean? This is the thing. This is why I don't need to censor or remove comments, because it's like yeah, it's self-evident. Oh, I lived in the woods for 4 years. I'm that crazy guy that wants to run away to the wilderness. Nothing crazy about that, man. What do you think I do? The old solo bushcraft camping and stuff several times a year, you know, it's part of that soul building thing, man, when you're in the woods and all on your own for like nights on end. With no one watching your 6, yeah. You don't need anyone watching your 6 if you're a Sigma prepper, yeah. You got all 360 degrees covered. Pat Riot, none of my VIP patrons, man, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. We'll have a shout out for the VIPs in a minute. But it's good to get all this out of the way in the first part, right? Because then we're going to get into some proper bidney in part 2. where I'm going to be showing you some goodies and some toys that I'm working on, or have worked on, or have built. Oh yeah, how about that as qualifying me? How about the guy who writes the book on the subject? How about the guy who is the guy who designs and provides survival gear from scratch? Should be a bit of a clue. Yeah. Oh dear, oh me. And the guy who's been to 40 odd countries and lived in countries with things like civil war, with military coups, with earthquakes, with tsunamis, with power cuts, living on little islands where there's no supplies coming for nearly 2 months, living in Cyprus, in the Middle East and places like that where there's no water 4 days a week. That's what qualifies me. Yeah? Because not only do I have the knowledge and the skills, but I've been able to apply that knowledge in so many different scenarios you wouldn't even understand. And when you apply knowledge, that becomes wisdom. And when you gain wisdom, you're then in a position to help others. Hence, ta-da! Right? You should follow this channel, yeah? There's so much you can learn, man. From what I've worked out so far, you haven't really gained much knowledge from where you've been. Well, why don't you see this as a celebration, man? Finally, at long last, I found somewhere where we're all friendly and we're all loving and kind and all want to help each other. Yeah, to prepare. Right, and part of that preparedness is your mental mindset. You're not going to last 10 minutes. You wouldn't last 10 minutes in a crisis, because the first thing you'll be doing when someone comes knocking on your door is making enemies that will come back later that night sevenfold, and you'll wonder what happened. Is because you need to understand how what you put in is what you get out. Which is why I said before, it's not a coincidence that you look at the sorts of comments we get from the people that are die-hard funky lovers, and they're all negative, they're all hateful, they're all threatening. Yeah, they're all abusive. There's no logic to any of it. There's no receipts to any of it. I've brought receipts to everything I've said. It's amazing. It's so funny. Once again, he's just going to run his cogs hustler and not answer any real... Answer me a question. Like, come on the live show now. Live. Go. We did this before and you wouldn't. Come on live right now, Pilgrim, and talk to me about it. Like, you know, use your words. Yeah? You got to learn to use your words, man. Right? Not just threats, threaten to kill people, all these other things, and just slanderous stuff that's going to end up getting you sued and things, which is just silly, isn't it? Got to think intelligently, man. Right? And if you want to come on a show and talk to me about what it is about Funky Prepper that I'm so wrong about, that I think that he hasn't had his channel banned, and you're trying to convince me that he has had his channel banned, and I'm saying no, he hasn't. And then I'm telling you what I think it is that it is. I don't think it has anything to get all hateful and death threat about, do you? And if you are, and you are indeed, well, I know you are, I've looked at his moderators on the list I've got. So, you have been confirmed as one of his moderators. So again, you're representing Funky Prepper. Right? Don't you see what you're doing? Cheers, man. Cheers, Pilgrim. Here's to the possibility that you can start to understand that I'm the one trying to protect this industry in this space. Yeah, because I've got a dog in the race, because I design and provide and produce and manufacture survival gear and write books on the topic that I would like people to be able to buy, rather than they all being banned off the shelves because every prepper's banned, because some people make us look like this. Right? It's not what this space is about. It's not about division. It's not about hate. It's not about threats. Alright? It's not about name calling. It's about learning stuff. And all you're doing is getting in the way of everyone else who's waiting to learn stuff. And that's why they're here. So if you're not here to learn anything, and you certainly don't seem to be here to teach anything, you just make yourself look like a fool. Oh. What are you going to try and sell us next? I'm going to sell you the idea of hitting the like button. How's that? And it's totally free. I'm going to sell you the idea of coming on the live as a guest, right? And tell people what it is you disagree with. Which of the receipts that I've brought, which of the graphs that I've shown, yeah, which of the analytics stats that I've shown you do you disagree with? But you don't seem to want to. Instead, you just want to throw all these sort of threats and, you know, want to threaten to slash my dog's throat. Who does that? I still can't get over that. What a thing to say. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, point proven. So continue along. Don't worry. I never ignore you, Pilgrim. I've got no reason to. If I don't click on your questions, because it has no value. Right? I'm only going to be talking about things that have value to everyone. Otherwise, I'm wasting everyone's time. When you write something of value, rather than hatred and threats and all these things, we can talk about it. If you want to come on the show, as I've now the 4th time over the last few videos said, if you want to talk about Funky Prepper being whatever that you don't agree with, then my door is always open, literally. Yeah, my Discord guest thing is open all the time. Get yourself down here. Live guests, it's here. Get in a Discord server, get yourself down here to live guests like everyone else manages to be able to do, and talk to me about it and state your case. I've stated mine, I've shown the receipts, right? It's a speculation, right? It's what you call Occam's razor. If you understood the scientific method, look it up. Anyway. Leanne Mack in the house, great to see you. Hawkins, great to see you. Oh, Robert Foster, I think we should move. Isn't it? Isn't it? The Wiz, this is so native. What's wrong with people? I know. And by the way, just so you know, Pilgrim, I don't want to blow your cover, but just so you know, when people use terms like Merca, no American says that. Neither do Americans use the word puff. Right? Just a heads up. Ignore the trolls. Oh no, they're not trolls. These are literally real people defending Funky Prep or defending Funky Prepper for I don't know what. I've already read my thing out as to what the videos were designed to do. So yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. I love it. And the engagement is brilliant, right? Because it's just, you know, it's, you know. Yes, Lone Wolf Prepper. So we've got loads going on. What we should do, right, so that we can now introduce how we really roll over here once we have dealt with this previous thing. Because again, if you want to talk about anything to do with Matey Boy, I've given you 2 videos worth of spaces to do that just for you, right? This is where we celebrate my success and our success as a wolf pack, right? Despite all those things out there that would try and lull my voice down, because in contrast it makes other things seem less relevant. Let's do it then, getting in a Sigma mindset. It's time for the quotes. Thank you to everyone who sent them in. Sip of tea, my darling, sip of tea. I wonder, are you a Sigma type? Funny old fellows, aren't they? Don't like to be bossed around. Don't need to boss anyone else around, right? Don't get bossed around. Sigmas are weird. Alphas don't even know how to handle them. But it's because they're self-reliant, they're independent, right? And they focus on skills building, right? And knowledge building and becoming the best versions of themselves. That's what makes you a Sigma. It's nothing to do with being a loner. It's just not needing other people to survive. Hence, it doesn't matter how many millions of years you've spent in the military, right? The military help is relying on you having a team of people that follow orders. It's not reality, is it, in a normal everyday situation for the average working Joe? So you need to have all those skills all in one person, not rely on a whole platoon. So if you're a Sigma type, you're perfect for that. You tend to be highly intelligent, you tend to be autodidacts, and you also tend to be polymaths. So if you feel like this is the place you belong, you've found the right place, Sigma Prepper. Here and now, let's get into it then with the quotes. First in is actually from me, one of my own quotes, one of the ones taken from one of my books. In survival, your greatest asset is not what you have, but what you know. In survival, your greatest asset is not what you have, but what you know, Sigma Prepper. Thank you to Kaza, who sent this one in over on the Discord server. Don't forget, you're looking for the brain icon. For those that aren't familiar with that, it's the pink thing that's got the like weird little ripply things on it. That's a brain. Yeah? Look for that. I'm only joking. So thank you to Kaza. The truth does not require your participation in order to exist. Bullshit does. Terence McKenna. The truth does not require your participation in order to exist. Bullshit does. Thank you so much, Kaza, for this one. Much appreciated. Next up is Daily Survival, one of our moderators. Lessons in life will be repeated until they are learned. Lessons in life will be repeated until they are learned. Frank Sonnenberg. Reminds me of the... Why is it we do the quotes and I always end up having like 4 other quotes that come to mind to do with stuff, but yeah. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Thank you so very much for sending in the Sigma quotes. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, you can get yourself a Discord server. The links are in the description of this video below, so there's kind of not really any excuse not to. And it's a great place to make friends around people who are into the same things, have similar hobbies and interests with survival, prepping, bushcraft, and things like this, and self-defense, and whatever your bag is, whatever you're really into. So go and do it then. Sigma quotes, what you're looking for. It's the brain icon. Let's get back to base camp. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Okie dokie. Taking my ham radio license, says Mac Bats. Great thing to do, my man. Great things to do. Thank you for being with us, Mac. I really appreciate it. £35 for your foundation level. Thanks for your information, my man. Like I said, I do encourage that. I mean, most people just say, well, you know, there is an allowance in ham radio for emergency broadcasts and things with certain transmission limitations of wattage and things. But generally, people's idea is, oh, you know, who's going to care when? But you know what? When you do the ham radio license, when you learn as much about it as you need to, you'll understand that you don't always want to be transmitting on the maximum power because you're just sort of like highlighting to everyone else where you are. You'd be more strategic to use a high gain Yagi antenna on 433 megahertz and have it directional. And on the lowest power, you could transmit on so that you're not bleeding out your communications everywhere else. I mean, that's a whole show I need to do. I did. But yeah, there's just things that if you understand enough about the technology, about the physics of it and things. I mean, I have to anyway as an electronic engineer, as you can imagine. Especially with all the products I've developed with RF wireless technology. Done a lot of work with military drone technology and stuff in the past, which is all wireless tech. The same as my Sentry turret drone, which is still in production. I'll show you that working after the break. We'll give it a spin around. We'll turn the laser on and we'll have a play. I don't know if we'll bother getting the video transmitter receiver up. We can just see it spinning about and stuff. But I'm going to be working on that through 2025, bringing that to life even more than it is already. So don't miss that. Let's try and get through these chat messages because I'm missing so many people. I'm really sorry, right? So dun 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 dun. Don't know if you have looked into, but Essex Ham do an awesome course, the foundation exam. Pete, what's his friend of mine and great guy. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll tell you what, you guys are going to be great, right? If you pop yourself over to the community server where all the action's going down, you got the communications. Where are we? Not Sigma products. We want the prepper sources. So if you go in there, you got communications. You can see, apart from my video in there talking about wide area security and defenses with some simulation tactics there, right? There's not really anyone's really contributed much to the communications. So if you perhaps get a link in there, it'd be great for people who wanted to look into the ham radio license. If you could, guys, yeah, really appreciate it, man. And that's what this is all about. And then people who want to then act on it have got the link there ready. They've got some information about it. And of course, if they've got any questions as well. Do you know what they say, Mac Bats, right? the best person to teach you something is someone who's just learnt it themselves. You ever heard that before? Yeah? Best person to teach you something is someone who's just learnt it themselves. Anyway. So I was going to say, let us know how you're getting on with your ham radio course, you know, what it entailed. Yeah? Really good section of the Discord. So it's one of the only sections that's got barely anything in it. Yeah, like everything else has got like everything you can imagine, right? Off-grid power and protection security and you name it. Cooking tips, right? It's like... but the communications is really thin on the ground. I need to put my own in there a little bit more than I've done. I've only put one of mine in there. Sorry, just scoot through. You got Super 8 video in the house. Thanks for joining us, man. M6JKW. Wow, I don't know what we're wowing about. What's wow? What have I missed? It's building your skill level so you can build your own radios. Yeah. I started out doing that when I was about 11, 12 years old. I built an FM radio with all the coils and things. I was a bit of a weirdo when I was young. My 7th birthday present was a soldering iron. Most people, it's a kicking pair of trainers, but oh dear. Let's have a look. In America, getting a ham radio license puts you on a list. You don't need one to operate during an emergency. Thank you. Roo, getting on with it. Down the rabbit hole. You're talking about Darren Trevor Brown. Don't know what that's about. Well, we do what we don't. You do not need a ham radio license. The public bans anyway. And there are limitations on maximum output wattage that mean that you're sort of like exempt and things on certain frequencies. Yeah, you do have your ISO bands and things. You got your, sorry, your what's it called? ISM bands, is it? I can't remember. But anyway, so you got things like, you know, 433, 315 megahertz. You got things like that, 900, 868 megahertz, which are public bands, but they are limited to certain wattages, like 10 milliwatt, and things like this, right? Anyway, that needs to be a whole new show I'll do for you about all that, right? I joined Discord, but cannot access. Says my email is already what? Registered. Do I need another invite? Thanks. No, I mean just the thing in the bottom of the what's it? I mean, I don't know if I've seen you come in there, have I, Pat? I'll have a look, but see what you can do, Daily Survival, to hook him up. But yeah, definitely get you in there, Pat. Thank you so much for being part of the Wolfpack VIP community. Pin diode for point-to-point comms channel, perhaps. Yeah, I looked into that. Do you know what? The atmospherics, Amphir, are pretty limiting, right? I mean, it's good because it's silent in terms of it can't be tapped into and things like RF frequencies can be. He's talking about communicating with light. I set up an experiment with that, with actually a laser, an infrared laser diode, and I just used a MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, for those who want to know. But I used to use a MOSFET chip to be able to control, and I just use a typical microcontroller to convert that sound audio signal into a flicky on and offy binary signal that I could transmit across a like an invisible laser cups on a string, basically, right? But it was a little bit, it was all right. It's actually really good for sending data packets. I could send a packet of data about maybe 16 bytes maximum. Bear in mind, a byte is like literally 1 character of text. And more than that, believe me, it starts getting really, really iffy. And I just didn't like... The other problem is it's not two-way as well. So you can't even do any... You have to do it the other way to have a return packet of data to say I received the other, you know, like a handshake. So you can tell if that last message actually arrived and it arrived in the state that it should have done. I don't want to get too technical about it, but I'm just saying there's a lot of problems with it, Amphir. As I've just explained that, you've probably already got an idea what I'm talking about. Love the intro song. Thank you, Saray. When do you want to do live guests? This week's been absolutely crazy. I do apologise, my man. Check out ID 1973. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. do the old bell notifications to all, because otherwise people say that they come back and they've been unsubscribed from the channel. They also say they come back to videos they've watched and they've hit the like button, and when they come back to watch it again, the like button's unticked. So we've seen this happen for the last 2 years on this channel on a crazy level. So please, the only way we've found that you can stop YouTube unsubscribing you without you looking is by doing the bell notifications, right? I had a video get 80,000 views and it was like 0 subscribers came from it. How does that even happen? I know it can't, because like I say, I've helped my clients build over 80 YouTube channels as their main geezer for doing exactly that, right? Which is exactly why the first time 80 Boy said, oh, someone's been banned off YouTube, I got about 4 or 5 tools that I can use to check that or not. And you see, because it's just my business, it's the space I'm in. Cheers, everyone. If I can't use my skills to help other people out there, then what's the point in having them, right? Is RC Silverado in the house? I didn't see his name. Yes, there it is. Great to see you. Thank you for being with us. It's a shame that handheld CBs are so low powered. I mean, you can do all right with a... hi, Dave. You can do all right with a ham radio, like a Bayer thing. If you've got the right antennas and things, and you know stuff about RF and how it propagates and things like that, and you understand different antenna configurations, you can get quite far. And of course, you've got repeaters as well that you can use with ham radios. Of course, in my ultimate communication surveillance kit, by Sigma Prepper has got things like the repeater. It's got it here. It's one of the things that I'm going to be releasing next year as well. This is a special repeater configurator. I'm hacking this inside and putting an extra microcontroller chip in there. I don't know if I've got the circuit board here for it, have I? This was the prototype for it. This is the prototype. This is basically an LCD screen, and underneath there is a microcontroller chip that I program, right? This is just in rough circuit form while I'm doing the programming. This is just an SD card holder with the data pin so I can read SD cards. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so this is going inside here, believe it or not, with my own custom ham radio relay station that I've developed. I've got some real funky stuff that's going to be rocking with that. No one's going to have seen anything like it. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's secret stuff because you... But anyway, things like repeaters is a great way to extend range and be a bit more strategic in the way that you're communicating. And there's lots of different things you can do. The minute you can send audio, you can send data. This is why in ham radios you can transmit GIFs, you can transmit bitmaps, like literally pictures. You can transmit over ham radio if you know what you're doing. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about will tell you in the chat. That's the thing, right? Transmission control protocol. Now. You can... It's the conduit that's the problem. The protocol is usually determined by the conduit, right? So if you're transmitting through the air, you're going to need to think about encryption. You're going to need to think about packet integrity and stuff like that, right? But secure communication comes down more to... And to be honest, if you need secure communication, you're doing things wrong anyway. Sorry. This is a complicated subject, which is why I'm going to need to do a massive video on it with all the slides and talking you through every little bit about it you're going to need to know, right? Anyone with a room temperature IQ should leave the chat. Agreed. But it's all right, because like I say, it's important that the representatives of Funky Prepper show who they really are, which just basically re-evidences what my claim was, is that that's probably why you'll find he's been taken in, is because of the sorts of people he's churning out. Yeah, and these are the kinds of people that he's churning out. It's so funny. Yeah. And again, it's so predictable. This was something that I told both Sandy and Christina G before I did the first video. I predicted Pilgrim, right, and his buddies, and exactly what would happen, and exactly why I was purposefully not going to remove a single one of their comments, right? because it was already the thing that I had already predicted would happen, which would just reassert my case in the first place and go, yeah, thank you, move on. It's just too easy. Helen, is there your info? It's been invited, not allow me. Hope that makes sense. Thank you, Helen. We can maybe update the Discord link or something, but there shouldn't be a problem with it. It's completely open and free. With the expertise in microelectronics and communications, the secret is that? You sound like a right Wally. Oh, sorry. Check out. Yeah, I was just going to say that. That is one of the things you get with my ultimate, the Sigma Prepper Ultimate Communication Surveillance Kit. You do actually get a Mesh-tastic. Where is it? I've got one up here actually. It's another one I was developing. I've got my own version of the Mesh-tastic. I rewrote the code slightly. So I've got my own firmware version that I hacked. It does a few extra features, but this is what they're talking about. This is the basic circuit board module that I develop with and rewrite the program. I've got a slightly different way of sending packets and things. So I was gonna offer this as well. There's basically a text messaging system that you can use. It connects Bluetooth to your mobile phone, and it just uses it as the keyboard, like a Bluetooth keyboard. Basically, it's only the only thing it's using your phone for. So this assumes no cell towers, grid down scenario. You've got no form of communication, bar a satellite phone, which is useless unless the other person on the other end's got a satellite phone, and even that's questionable. But the Mesh-tastics are good enough to send a text message, you know, like a tweet's worth of a text message, securely encrypted, point to point, not going through cell towers, and you've got about a 10-mile radius if you're lucky, if you've got the right antennas. This is a typical, I tend to go for 433 megahertz frequency, just because the lower the frequency, you tend to find that it cuts through shrubbery and it gets attenuated less. So the lower the frequency, the more the greater the range theoretically you'll get, because a lower frequency can travel further. It's less attenuated by trees, leaves, buildings, right? But the higher the frequency you go, the more that signal gets attenuated by even just the atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, once you get up to like, you know, gigahertz. So, but you can get these on 800, 900 versions. I think they do a 1.2 gigahertz, but I always recommend the lower frequency because you can just cut through the air far more with that, and you can get out of things like you can have this in a box and it will still receive the message. You know what I mean? But it takes a good 5 seconds to send a text message point to point, which for me as an electronic engineer, making things like this is quite a long time for point to point radio transmission. But it's the way that it sends the packet. It can cut through anything, and it's got such a great, like a data integrity checker and stuff. It's really reliable. And of course, it will tell you that it's been received the other end. And like I say, it's completely independent. And you can, this one I've just soldered on the back of here, an 18650 cell holder, just one cell like you get in the big torches, right? So I always recommend 18650s over AA or AAA batteries if you can find your device. But that's the Mesh-tastic. You'd have a couple of them, and you can have multiple of them, and you can hop that message across different people in your town as your group that want to help each other, or give you the heads up if they see a big parade of tanks going down through their side of town. They can give you a heads up and things like this, and your range on that is going to be far greater than the range on your ham radio. So that's another thing that comes in the Sigma Prepper Ultimate Surveillance and Comms Kit. So yeah, thanks for bringing it up and reminding me of that one, because I had it in there last time as part of the kit. So my chat just suddenly skipped down, so I think sorry, hold on. You blocked my other account. You're a punk. I don't know any account that's been blocked. I don't do blocking. So, nice try. I did see your comment saying that I was removing your comments as well. And of course, don't forget, if somebody's removing your comments, the first thing they were going to remove is the comment saying you've removed my comments, right? You'll notice that's still there too, Pilgrim. Don't worry. We all know who you are. It's fine. Or at least my Wolfpack investigation team do. Thank you again for the work you did over the last 2 days when it comes to Pilgrim, guys. I do really appreciate you having my back like that and having all that information just sent to me all in one pile like that about him. It's like, wow, thank you so much. And that's what keeps this channel safe. Really appreciate you. So yeah, let's have a look. What else we got going on here? Because we're not wasting time on that nonsense. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to pretend that he's being banned, because then he can pretend that he's saying anything worth banning, rather just proving my point to everybody. Just worth noting, thank you Jonathan Hayes, great to see you my man. Just worth noting that many of us consider our pets to be members of our family, so any threats to them not welcome. Plenty of room around here to hide the bodies. Yeah, there's a reason why on my Discord community server that I spent a long time making for everybody, free. Yeah, no one paid me to, no one's sponsoring it, there's no adverts anywhere, and I'm not even monetized. I'm not even monetized, and I'm doing these videos. It's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, what are we talking about? We need the... Oh, by the way, don't forget that the after party we'll be doing tonight as well. So if you want to join us in the after party, where we just chat to each other about stuff, right? And help people who've maybe got problems, or maybe they've got a little bit of a skills shortage in an area they want some help with, they'll be pointed in the right direction. We have all sorts of conversations, but normally it's only the VIP Patreon members. But today, after party, we're up until Christmas, we're doing it available for everyone. So if you want to join us in there, we'll be there after this show and we'll talk freely. Let's see if anyone's wanting to come on as a live guest. No, all of the funky fanboys have been offered the chance to come and talk to me about it if they disagree with anything I said, but still nobody's coming on. Can't be fairer than that, can we? Can we buy a mesh chat stick from you? Yes, you can, but the thing is that ones that I'm developing are ones that are going to be more in a different enclosure, and I don't have the budget to get that rocking yet. I've got a friend of mine who said he'd do me the usual guy I use for prototype engineering. He said he'd knock me up an enclosure on 3D print, but I need it to be something a little bit special. But this is the point. You'll see that in part 2, where I'll be talking about what's coming in 2025, and that is one of the things I want to be bringing to market for you, because I've had so many people asking me for bits and pieces. I've made a lot of sort of security bits and pieces for people, and sent them it separately as custom stuff. I mean, Sandy, in terms of like offline, sorry, this is another thing as well. I'll probably talk about this later. This needs to go out to Sandy on Monday along with the hotspot, so I'll probably good to show you this. But this is something I created for Sandy, for example. She's in a wheelchair. She has mobility issues, so she has an electric scooter wheelchair, right? So I made her this, and I matched the plug to her thing. I found the data sheet for her mobility scooter online. I just asked her what the model was. I figured out what the pin-out connection was to the battery, and I created her this lead. Not even charging her for it, completely free of charge. This is about 25 quid's worth of silicon cable connectors and things like this, but this is what I do for my guys, right? And so I've got here for her a USB port, so she can use the battery basically on a mobility scooter, right? In a crisis, the grid goes down, or there's a rolling blackouts or whatever, she can plug this into her scooter battery, which will be sitting in the hallway. And she's got full charging, USB-C power delivery as well as just normal USB Type A. And then this one I've given her, look, just like a car cigarette lighter socket. And a good example of that, you see, just don't forget when I went out the other day for an excuse to test the fleece car cigarette lighter socket electric blanket when we went out to do the alien invasion in Wild Camp, right? And I was out there in the woods at, what was it, -1 degree centigrade, wasn't it, for you lot? So again, you can put that in there, and she can have her heated blanket, right? Electric heated blanket here, like you get for a car, and that will run from her mobility scooter battery, right? So it's things like that, which are like little bits and pieces that I make people because I want to see them have an advantage, right? The other people, no doubt, it can help them too. So there's things like that that I'd like to make available to others if people happen to be, you know, if they're in a, that's the whole point of Sigma Prepper, right? We're here for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a commando or you're a single woman in a 1-bedroom flat in a city. I've got something for everyone. And even if you're disabled and have a electric scooter, yeah, little Drew here is going to scurry off into his lab there, and he's going to start coming up with a solution for it, because that's what I'm passionate about, is coming up with solutions to the problems we face and the problems that we will potentially face, right? And it's about foreseeing those problems, like the power going out and like my friend Sandy not having any power, right? That I can solve by thinking, hold on a minute, you got an electric scooter, haven't you, honey? I've had an idea. Let me test my theory, right? And there it is. It's as easy as that. Anyway, so if anyone's got an electric scooter, right, I'll put it together for you, cost price. I won't charge you any profit or anything. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Budget, anyway, I'm not, you know. Apparently he's got screenshots to prove you a lie. Good luck with that, because I lived my life never having needed to lie once. Yeah, it's amazing. I mentioned the other day, it's amazing how liberating that is. This is why I'm freer than you will ever be. Yeah. You're the one who kept going on about wanting your anonymity, How free are you? I'm an open book. Yeah, I don't need to lie about anything, which is why I bring receipts. So it's just making it worse. Like I said, man, take some advice. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to tap on your keyboard and remove all doubt. You're just making yourself look sillier and sillier. Bless his cotton little socks. Anyway. Right, let's have a look. Oh, look, this is amazing. Look, now I'm being accused of lying now about threatening your dog. Have you seen all my emails, have you? Have you hacked into my emails and seen all my emails? Have you seen all my direct messages on Discord before? Really? Oh, dear. Oh, is UK Urban Prepper having a rock and roll? Yeah, he's got work in the morning. Lovely to have you with us, my man. Thank you, Asher. At least someone appreciates my efforts and doesn't think I'm just trying to scam people out of what I don't know, but... Oh, dear. Purple Flurple, there she is. I would have been really disappointed I hadn't seen your name tonight, honey. I have no idea what I've missed, but you made tonight feel like I'm back in the playground. Isn't Tag You're It amazing? That's why I love you, Perps. And that's why we love each other, because we understand. We understand. Is Miss Worm rocking as well? I don't think she is she? No. I'm saying good night, goodbye to Mike. Do you know, it's nice that tonight's just really catching up with friends, because that's really what this channel, I wanted this video to be about tonight, more than anything else, because that's what makes this place so special, is we don't have to deal with, how do you charge the scooter if there's no power? Well, that's the point. First of all, by having the battery bank there, if you've got any idea how much, watt hours of energy contained in a wheelchair battery, is an awful lot, right? So don't underestimate how useful that will be. That'll keep all your torches, your flashlights charged. It'll keep your ultimate hotspot. My offline emergency internet system that I developed, right? The ultimate hotspot, which takes only about half a watt of energy. You can use 12-volt camping kettles to boil your water to make tea. And really, the thing that I would suggest. The thing I would suggest in terms of what it would be, how you would charge it, right? This is designed for, and I'll tell you where the idea came from. Let me just find it for you quickly. I think I've got it in here somewhere. So I showed people the energy blackout report. I don't know if you're familiar with it. ESEC guidance, was it? For those that aren't familiar, this is what I'm talking about. Sorry, 5 seconds. Got to drag that window over here quickly. So what I'm talking about really, where it comes in useful, sorry, who's this asking the question? Oh, Total Nutter. So the idea of this, you see, is this becomes useful. Obviously, the second the electricity turns off, clearly it's useful because you've got power now that you didn't have before. So that's the first thing. You've probably got about 30 recharges of your phone. That's a month's worth of recharging your phone on just the battery in that scooter. But what's most typical and what's most likely for those in the UK who aren't aware is this. This is a government document that was put out a while ago that I reported on a while ago, the day it came out. That's how I roll. But this is a plan by the British government as to the blackout. So you've got the ABCD, which refers to a code that you would have been defined on your electricity bill. You'll see a letter there that represents what area you are, basically. And then it's the week is the day is broken down into 8, so it's 3-hour segments, 3 8 to 24 hours a day. So you've got that broken up into 8 segments. That's represented here in the day: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And so what you'll see is this black square is when your power will be turned off. So in this case, from memory is 12:30 a.m. in the morning is where block 1 starts until 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and so on, right? So it means that on Monday, you're going to have no power, right, at midnight. So you're not getting to work in the morning because your alarm clock's going to be reset, right? But the power comes back on, look. And then Wednesday, it's off for 3 hours. And then Sunday, it's off for 3 hours here, right? So that's the idea. But as you follow it down, you see, this is a scalable plan that the government's come up with so that as things get worse, they can increase the disconnection level. This is level 8, look. And so here you'll see let's say that your energy bill in the UK has got a B on it or an A on it, right? So it's A. So you're on for 3 hours, off for 3 hours, on for 3 hours, off for 3 hours, on for 3. You get the picture? That's what it's for. I also advised her to get a fast charger for her scooter because the one that she was using was a 2-amp charger. And you can get things like 6-amp chargers, and based on the capacity of her battery bank, which is about the C rating, yeah, which is how many times the capacity in amps can you charge it without doing it damage. And they're usually about, hers is lithium packs, so lithium packs you can do about 1C, which is basically if her pack is 8 amp hour capacity, then you could charge that at 1C, which would be charging at 8 amp of energy, right? We don't need to get too technical about it, but I'm just saying this is where it's useful, because where your power is going on and off in proposed outages, or if you've got a power cut the last 3 days or 4 days and it's back on, well, of course, that electric scooter battery is going to last at least 3 or 4 days with the, LED lighting, charging your flashlights, keeping your radio going, and things like this, and your smartphone's charged, right? So that's the point of it. Anyway, I thought that would have been look, this way, if I tap on your door, you won't know who I am. I've already told you we already know who you are. What do you think? That is the benefit of having as many people on this channel who are legal, honest, and decent people who come from backgrounds of such that had you pinned in 2.5 hours after you showed your face, funny enough. So you're known by a lot more people than you think. Silly, silly, silly boy. Silly boy. So my bad, any Sasquatch around, Robert, don't know. Wouldn't it be better to just have a spare car battery? No, because car batteries rely on being trickle charged constantly. They lose their capacity. Lead acid batteries are actually the worst for it. Lead acid batteries lose about 5% of their charge per week in cold conditions, right? So your capacity of your car battery is only going to lie. And also a car battery is really bad because it's not designed as a deep cycle battery. So car batteries aren't designed to be charged right down and used. They're designed to be, having big torque load and then it's back up again and that's it. And then for the rest of the time, it's being constantly charged, right? So if you left a car battery in a corner, then it would just be flat by the time you came to use it, unless you're going to mess around keeping it topped up. But yeah, sure, you can keep a plug in the wall topping it up. But the problem with a car battery is you can't charge it as quickly. Lead acid battery, in case you don't know, lead acid battery is 1/10 C. So it means that if your car battery is a 60 amp hour car battery, right, it means that you can charge it maximum at 6 amps. Whereas if that was lithium 60 amp, you'd be able to charge it as 60 amps, 10 times faster charger without damaging it. There's just, believe me, there's a lot of reasons why not. Yeah. It's so lovely to have you all with it. EVs, anyone? I mean, that is something. You're probably not going to be driving her out or anything, yeah? Not like Robert. It's so funny. Thank you so much, everyone. It's so lovely to see you all. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. Sorry, I'm way back. There's all sorts of other weird things that now I'm buying subs, as though a channel like this would need to buy subs. What an insult. Why don't you just go and look at some of my other videos and try and figure it out for yourself, yeah? Or why not just go back to Funky Prepper channel where you belong to? Because you're not belonging here. You just make yourself look more and more of a fool against a bigger and bigger audience of people who aren't fools. Yeah? You're investing an awful lot of time in making yourself look even more foolish than you've done already. I just don't get it. It's so funny. Once the power goes off, you can recharge a car, battery. Do you know, I'll tell you how many subs I've bought if you want to see it, because again, I'm an open book. I don't need to lie about shit, unlike you lot. Check this out, right? This is behind the scenes data of my channel, right? This is how my subscribers go. This is why it's taken me 2 years to get 1,000 subscribers, 2.5 years. Yeah, plus I've been online I've had YouTube channels for 18 years on here. I've got a YouTube channel. It's still been going for 18 years. Right, look, subscribers gained is the pink one. Look at what YouTube does. Every time there's a pink one, that's a gain. Every time there's a green one, they take it away. Every time there's a pink one, there's a green one to take it away. If you get 2, it just takes 2 away. Look at the numbers here. This is live. Subscribers gained 5. Subscribers lost 7. When I say YouTube takes subscribers from this channel, I'm not lying. I don't need to lie. Jesus Christ. Believe me, anyone who buys subscribers, I just told you, I've helped build 80 YouTube channels for some of the biggest clients you could possibly imagine. And the first rule is don't buy subscribers, because you're going to get flagged, you're going to get banned, and it doesn't actually help you, because buying subscribers doesn't result in watch time, because no one watches your videos, and all you do is you ramp down your click-through rate of your thumbnail. Instead of being 10% click-through rate, you're going to have like a 1% click-through rate, because the other 99% of subscribers you've bought don't want to click on your thumbnail because they're not into it. Work it out. It's just like, come on, grow up. Grow up. Just stop talking. You're making yourself look more and more. It's comical. Thank you so much. I'm gagging for a new cup of tea, I tell you. Yeah. Have we been streaming for an hour yet? We've been streaming for an hour and a half without a single break. Oh, the dedication, Drew. I know. Oh, and guess what? No donations, no super chats, no nothing, right? All for free. If I can get my cable untangled from under my chair leg. There we go. Right, so we are going to have a quick break, because when we come back, I've got so much stuff I want to show you. I didn't realise it had been cracking on. Plus, we're supposed to be having our after party. Yeah, where we can get together as friends like we do, because we're all inclusive and anyone's welcome. So come and join us. That'll be here in the after party on a Discord server. It's a voice after party. You don't have to say anything. You can just remain muted. But we have chats and things about all sorts of things. Help solve people's problems. Help people learn about prepping and survival. Listen to their problems. Understand their situation. And put forward really good strategies and things in order to deal with that. So I really would love to see you over there at the end of the show. So yeah. Oh no, they're not getting to me, my darling. I'm trying to help them to not look quite as... It's not working. I can only help people as much as I can try, right? It's, you know... Look, and now he's calling everybody, all of our Wolfpack suckers. Is that nice? You see what I mean? You're just calling everyone names. What audience? 70 suckers. Well, you're part of that audience if you hadn't realised. Duh! Why are you here if it's so bad? It's because you love me. You love me. You want to make mad passionate love to me on a sheepskin rug in front of the open fire listening to the Top Gun album. I get it. I'm just not... You know? Mrs. Sigma Prepper? Yeah? Come on, yeah. Gonna get her going, you know. I told you I don't want you trapping off with someone you've met online, right? I can't be dealing with all these accusations, man. I'm already taken. Sorry, already taken. So I'm desperate to get myself a new cup of tea, because it's been way too long. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. we're going to go and get a cup of tea. But when we come back, right, we're going to be getting through all this stuff here so I can talk about what we're going to be doing in 2025 and in the weeks ahead, because I'm so excited. I can't wait. So, oh, that's an image I could have done without. Me too. How do you think I feel? Yeah, I mean, I've had some people obsessed with me many times over the years. This is the first time it's been men, it would seem. So, I mean, I'm flattered. Really, I am. So thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. Don't go anywhere, because we're not going anywhere. All we're doing is just going to have a quick break. Get yourself a cup of tea. When we come back, we'll be having a toast, and we'll be getting down to it and checking out all the cool survival and prepping stuff we're going to be doing in 2025. In the meantime, love, peace, and progress to the pack. Don't go anywhere. See you in 5. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate each and every one of you. 1,000 subscribers. That's how we do. Until several more are taken away. This is how it's looking, 1,060. We'll see how long it lasts. Usually, you know who finds a way of whipping them off while you're not looking and I'm not looking. So please do hit the notification bell if you haven't done already. Set it to all. Another great way to guarantee you ain't left behind is to make sure you're always kept up to date over on a Discord community server for Sigma Prepper. This is how it looks. It's an absolute knowledge base full of information. Such a friendly place as well. Everyone's there to help you. Completely free to join, completely free to contribute, and completely free to learn from. So that's why I built it for free. So go and take advantage of it. Go and get yourself in there, just like these last couple of peeps have done, including Yeet Dave. And Ribana as well joined us recently, as well as Sumero Outdoors. So thank you to all of you for joining the Discord server. Thank you for those that have subscribed, and thank you for those that have hit the like button. It does help. Don't forget, we've got a live poll rocking tonight, so I do hope you voted in that. It looks like we have 71 votes so far. And so the live poll I've set up for you this evening, my darlings, is this one. I took a screenshot before we went live. What prepping knowledge or skills are you hoping to maximize or achieve for 2025? So this is going to help me to decide which shows are going to be most important for you. So I'm not, so I'm making sure that the sort of things I'm helping you with are the things that you need help with, right? So please be honest about it. It's completely anonymous. I don't know who's voted what, but these are your options for what you want to work on for your stuff for 2025. Is it security and self-defense, off-grid energy systems, medical and health, or food, water prepping, and storage? So they're the things to vote from. Please go and have your say. Let us know how you feel about that. And then towards the end of the show, we'll call the results on that. And that will help me going forward as the sort of things that you're most concerned about and would most like help with. Those that know me for a long time, I'm an all-rounder. I don't specialize in anything. I've grown microgreens all the way through to crazy, crazy stuff. So don't feel like there's, anything that it has to be or doesn't have to be, right? So let's catch up with the chat then and see what's going on. What are we doing? I'm looking for high value comments. UK and Prepper in the house. Great to see you. What's the deal with Funky not being in the army? Don't know. No me ne importa niente. No me ne importa niente. Those who speak Italian will understand what that means. Glacier National Park, thank you, Robert. I know I can always rely on him for Glacier National Park has everything: wolves, a large grizzly bear population, black bears. We only saw one grizzly, but that was scary. They've attacked people in the park before. Bad news, man. All pack in the house. Sorry everybody, I'm skipping through because I'm so far behind because I'm such a naughty boy. Such a naughty boy. Oh true, how naughty of you. Cheers everybody. Thank you for the 1,000 subapoos. Let's hope we have fun together. We'll be looking back at this day when I've got 1,100 subscribers in maybe 10 years time. 2029. Just before Apophis comes and takes us all out. Will be when I get 1,100 subscribers. So I'm looking forward to our next milestone in 2029 when we get to 1,100 subscribers. Thank you everyone, love to you all. What we got? we got. Carolyn Rose with us. Lovely to see you, Carolyn, all the way from Australia, my darling. So as with the solar cabling and battery charge controller, I also keep a range of propane and butane bottle regulators to make up gas lines, uses common gas bottles. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I've got a butane and a propane. There's benefits with each, but I tend to stick with propane because the boiling temperature is minus 20 degrees centigrade rather than minus 5 degrees centigrade as it is with butane. I prefer propane. It stores indefinitely. And yeah, so you want to have a good regulator valve. I've got a camping cooker that's got 2 hobs and it's got like a toast grill that I've used considerably over the years, camping with my son and family anyway. So it's great bug out and home prep if the gas is turned off, which it would be if the power went down anyway for most people. So definitely having a way to do with that. And I've got redundancy in terms of having propane and gas tanks, the 15 kilo ones. So having and they're different regulators, just so you know, right? The hose regulators that you click, right? And you're better off with them anyway, because when the temperatures do get a little bit cold, you want that extra pressure. If you don't have the pressure in the cylinder, if you've got those small cans, what are we doing? Io parlo un po' d'italiano. Sono inglese, ma parlo un po' d'italiano. But you understood what I said in terms of questo non hanno a che vedere con te. Well, it wasn't that though, was it? I can't remember what I said now. It was something like that. No, that was perfect. But you don't need... where are you? Io parlo. Parlo is already the I version of parlare, the verb. Yeah, to speak. So you don't really need the io, just say parlo un po' d'italiano. Anyway, we're not doing Italian lessons. I'll be teaching you bloody Thai next. Putai ngungu blah blah. Yeah, is the equivalent. Putai ngungu blah blah. I speak Thai a little bit, but ngungu blah blah direct translation is actually snake snake fish fish, which is like a little bit. It's a funny way, like when you live in Thailand for a long time, you learn to speak it fluently, right? I like to learn the words that like makes them laugh kind of thing, right? Because I'm just a child as well, right? But ngungu blah blah as a Thai saying is like we would say in the UK, a wee tad bit. Yeah, speak English a wee tad bit. You know, you can imagine if a foreigner said that in a non-native tongue, said, you know, do you speak English? A wee tad bit. I speak a wee tad bit of English. You know, that's probably the closest equivalent. And it just makes them laugh. Anyway, and they're just the sort of the phrases that only Thai people would know. You know, it's not the sort of thing you get taught in a school when you're learning Thai language. Anyway, cheers, Pack, instead of Karen's and Kevin's. Hello, Margie, my darling. Hello, my darling. I've missed you. I've missed you. I was hoping I would have seen you in a couple of the after parties as our Alaska representative from Alaska. She's the one who keeps us, and she's got a brilliant homestead. Goats, pigs, chickens. Don't we go back a long time, Margie? Don't we go back a long time, I'll tell you. But it's lovely to see you, my lovely. Hope you're well. Big squeeze, beautiful. And from me. Yeah. Kevin is my favourite minion. Maggie, there unfortunately are a couple here. Oh, look at that. I live on a boat and have propane and solar. I like it. Oh, was that who I thought it was there? It is Jenny Simon. Hello, my darling. Welcome to my 1,000 subscriber party. That's a lovely dress you're wearing to the party. Jenny, would you come and like to have some fruit punch? Have you had any of our fruit punch yet, my darling? Welcome to the party. So gasoline will last about 6 months. Yeah, on storage, correct. But you can use what's called an inhibitor in fuel, particularly octane 98 and stuff like that, right? And diesel, you need to put inhibitor in. You're talking 6 to 12 months, and then you're only getting like 24 months when you've got inhibitor in it, right? But even that assumes correct storage, right? And I'm talking airtight as airtight can be. No plastic, steel only, completely sealed, assumes 6 months, right? I mean, it's not like it's not going to work. It's just, if you continue running with old fuel, the octane as it comes out of the pump will be 98, but the octane will be 80 by the time it's fizzled out, basically. That's how it works. Just so you know. So you'll lose power and things, you'll get false starts, you'll get conk outs and things if it's a generator, right? So yeah. LBR, Stella, loving the camper van. That's where we're going back to after girlfriend, boyfriend, in-between friend, whatever sort of friend you want to be. We've also got chairs out here for those who want to sit outside and wait around the fire with the marshmallows. And Ting, welcome, my darling. Or darlingette. Or darling honour. Welcome to the pack. This is where the cool kids roll. Yeah, this is where the cool kids hang out. Get yourself sorted out over on the Discord server. I'll keep saying it, but you've got to do it because, again, it's the only way that people get notifications when I'm doing a video because it doesn't happen any other way. Thanks for being here. Happy Olympic. Great to see you. Thanks. Well done on 1K. Thank you. Onwards and upwards. Sideways and downwards. We run for our mobile bug out camp. Group of 4 families. 3,000 watt of folding solar panels. Like it. This runs lighting, kitchen radios and phone charging. Oh, and 12 volt fridge. You sound just like me camping, doing the scout camp. Doing the scout camping, right? We used to do, I say used to because my son's now army cadet, but when he was in Beavers, Cubs, Scouts and Explorers, like Lich, he's done the whole lot. I mean, I'm the chairman of the Scouts Association, just so you know. It's a free role because of course I'm a scam artist, apparently. So, yeah, I give my time free to be the chairman of the Scouts Association. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, so as a result, I was always there at all the camps, and it was a great opportunity for me and some of my friends that had kids in Cubs and Scouts. And we would get new equipment. It was like a battle of who had the best, coolest setup each year. And then later in the year, we'd do our solo bushcraft camping. Sorry, not solo. That was when I used to go at about 2 guys every year religiously. And then we lost permission for that land. And then we didn't do it for 1 year. And then I started doing solo camping because it was more challenging. And when you've done bushcraft camping for so many years, it's just not really difficult anymore. And I like to be challenged, and so doing the wild camping and being solo and stealth and having no one to rely on, no one to watch your back, it's far better for me to really get a more detailed sense of the things that you need to come up against. And this is why I ended up developing stuff like my my wild camping fashioned PIR defenses thing I came up with, because again, just gives you peace of mind while you're in a hammock chilling out. Leanne, Urban, I'm lucky as my family vets have been discharged as time served, but I've still got a few family and infantry medics. Medic! Thank you for being with us, Leanne. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for coming to join the celebration. It's a celebration. The sequins on my party dress are still intact, even after the earlier chat lashing. Super unleaded in the UK has less ethanol in it. Well, do you know, UK fuel is pretty well refined compared to other countries, I'll tell you that now. But there has been instances of there being contamination of water in the UK. Like, people have tested the fuel. It's almost like the fuel stations, the big brands, are watering it down. They've already tested the pumps to show that the pumps aren't actually very accurate. It's about 5% extra that, or less that you should get that you don't, right? It's well sneaky. Like they're not making enough money. Like it, perps. If the vans are rocking, don't come knocking. Like it, that's the rule. That's the base camp rule here. Our Sigma Prepper base camp here. Oh dear. Had to take 5 from the 2 goons. I view you, Telder Boy, as being an independent observer. Do you agree with me, with my assessment, that it seems to represent quite well where they've come from, who they've been listening to, who they've been radicalized by, or if that's what it is? Seems pretty radical. But I'd be interested to see your feedback on that. Yeah, on the way over here, it was that offer of the sheepskin rug with the open fire and the Top Gun soundtrack, I think, that was like, you know, where do I book my flight? Yeah, kind of a thing. So, never know, I might get lucky. Don't tell Mrs. Prepper I told you that. Mrs. Sigma Prepper, sorry. Oh, man. What's flat cap gaming loving? You can in a Nissan, but it's harder on a Lada. Personally, I want a truck. Oh, look, we love flat cap gaming already. Like it. We classic Italian scooterists don't like E10 petrol. It eats our carb gaskets. E5 is our friend. Do you know, you should see the fuel you get in Thailand, dude. Think yourself lucky. If you can even call it fuel half the time. Oh, there. No, it's fine. It's great. Miss Worm's getting the broomsticks warmed up. Yeah. I would say you don't want to mess with Miss Worm. Her broomstick's got proper kickstarts on them. Yeah, she mean bidney. She mean bidney. I keep E10 and my bike. I mean, there's lots of additives you can do and stuff as well, but... Congrats on your 1,000 subs. You'd be a superstar if media wasn't so entirely manufactured and they weren't suppressing you. I know, my darling. Well, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know about superstar. I would just like to be able to help as many people as I can, and of course it's very difficult when, you know... I only use Shell, says John C. You'll be right then. Unleaded 95 was 10% ethanol, Super 100 98, E5 at 5% ethanol. And they're trying to reduce the ethanol, aren't they, at the moment? More and more, which is just not good for carbs and things. Carburetors. My understanding. That's confirmed. He agrees. Over. Sorry. Over. Yes, absolutely sounds like they are in a cult, doesn't it just? Bum, bum, bum. That offer, wait for it, wait. Took a press away, didn't it? Dude, we just like in flat cap gaming more and more everything he says, isn't it? It's funny how that works. Some people, the more they say, the more you find yourself disliking them. And some people, the more they say, the more you find yourself liking them. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? My boyfriend and I... My boyfriend... Oh. I thought it was you and me. I thought it was you and me, Jenny. What you going to say something like that for? Let's try. I'll try and get through it. Me and my... I'm not going to say it. I'm starting a cult. You guys are welcome. He has this village fantasy. It takes a village and all that. He's having a midlife. I want to have more kids crisis. Sounds like you should move to Utah, girlfriend. Utah. Is there a limit as to how much petrol or diesel can be kept on premises without a permit? Yes, there is. Really good point. You will find there are limitations on that. This is the same reason why they don't want people to be able to... Like, if you go to the gas station and you try and... I mean, this isn't a thing in America. You can put as much in as you want. But in the UK, if you go to the gas station and you take a jerry can with you, let's say a 20-litre jerry can, they won't let you fill it up. They have a maximum... They have a maximum... a maximum serving for... I forget the technical term, but it's like portable fuel, as in if you're putting it in a thing rather than in a car tank. Yeah, there's a maximum delivery of like 10 litres or something. And part of that is to try and, you know, limit people from storing large quantities of fuel. Yeah, I think 2 gas cylinders is the maximum. Don't quote me on that. It's worth looking up for yourself. I'll make sure that goes in my ultimate prepping guidebook, because I've got the last chapter to finish. So yeah, it's a good idea. I'll put that in there because I haven't got that in there. I've got a load of stuff about how long each fuel lasts, and its minimum, maximum storage temperature and things like this. And it's I've got a whole chart that tells you every different version of gas, gasoline, diesel, propane, kerosene, you know, you name it. And so what would be a good idea is to also have something that would highlight just how much you're allowed to store legally, because of course it causes the fire services a big problem if you're containing 1,000 litres of gasoline in your garage, right? If you have some random electrical fire and then the fire crew turns up and you've got like 17 Calagas tanks piled up in your garage that they don't know about, and then they turn up to put your fire out, it's going to go, you know what, and it's going to end in tears. It's going to end in tears. It might even end in you getting maced and tased. Yeah? The fire crew will be in tears, but you'll be in tears because of the mace and the tase for being so callous with your preps. So do bear that in mind. It's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that out. Sometimes it's more cost effective to have lower powered electronics than purchasing more expensive solar generators or large capacity. Yes, this is something I've always advised. Thank you again, Amphi. And this is actually a big part of my book. Is I talk about things like trying to get as many things running on 12 volt as you can. And so when you buy things, when you buy things for your preps, right? I'm talking gadgets and things. You should always be trying to find something that will charge or be powered on USB, or worst case scenario 12 volt. And ideally, I mean, this is probably a good time. For example, this is another, talking of 2025 survival gear, because I should have been talking about this ages ago, so I'm probably going to just end up doing a show dedicated to that, which is probably a better idea. Even though we're supposed to be seeing my sentry turret, yeah? This is my sentry turret. I'll tell you, we will get it powered up. And then we will at least see that, but I might well, because we've been streaming for like years, 2 hours already, I think I might end up doing a dedicated video for what I've got coming in 2025. But this, for example, is my e-harvesting kit by Sigma Prepper. This is the ultimate e-harvesting kit, and there's lots of stuff I've taken out of this because I'm doing something over there with it. But it's basically, this is the pack like this, yeah? It comes like this, but inside is all the cables you'd ever need. You got crocodile clips here for plugging onto your car, with all the connectors and converters to all the modern day things you can imagine. There's I think this is 120 watt USB-C PD. You can charge laptops with the USB-C power delivery here at 100 watts. That goes into your car cigarette lighter, which is also a socket that goes in here, which that goes into. You can plug that with the crocodile clips into any battery. A little bit like I showed you I'd made for our Sandy, for her electric scooter, mobility scooter. So in a similar way to that. And there's some other bits and pieces in here, like in this bit here, you've got spare fuses of various different kinds, even fuse wire. There's also those blocks to screw up thingy bob. So that's in that side. And then when you zip that up, just to stop anything falling out, because like I say, this isn't complete. I've had things out of it. And then in this side, you've got all of the possible USB cables you could dream of. You've got current measurers, watt meters here as well. You've got 18650 lithium ion battery charger for charging single with little magnet probes. You've got it all in here. We've also got an extra set of crocodile clips to put anything you want through to USB, which allows you to measure current and voltage of things, so you can sort of estimate how long devices will last being powered. And of course on this side, is every different type of USB cable you could imagine, with different lengths, USB-C to USB-C. We've got the USB-C to 12 volt jack, for example, so you can power 12 volt devices from USB-C. So I've got everything you can imagine, really. So this is the Sigma Prepper ultimate e-harvesting kit is what it's called, and that's been finished ages. I just need the stock for that, but they're ready to go. Like I say, I will do a video dedicated to this, because there's like about 6 things out of this side that's completely missing, which is the most impressive side usually. But anyway, so that's the e-harvesting kit. And so like Amphir says, by making sure you get devices, because you can buy devices that have 2 options, right? You can have the ones that just plug straight into the AC outlet and the wire goes straight into the device and is molded in. You'll often sometimes find other versions of that, even by the same manufacturer sometimes, that instead of that comes with a wall wart power supply pack that plugs into the AC outlet, and at the other end of it you have the 12-volt jack that goes in which case you can just switch that out for your off-grid 12-volt pack, or you can use your car on the drive or in your garage to actually use your 12-volt from that, so you can always still do stuff. And that's basically the idea of that, right? I've got to stop getting my cable caught. So in no particular order, the other thing as well that I'm going to be doing in 2025, which I planned to do this year but I hadn't got around to it, is to talk to people about suturing. Suturing is a skill I want to perfect. And so I bought a kit and I was waiting to use it for you. I've done something like this similar before, but I've bought a professional-ish suturing kit for medical and health. So this is the suturing kit I bought, right? And so you can see you've got all the cool stuff there, all the tools, right? I mean, I'm a precision engineer anyway, so I'm quite good with things like these tools because I have to use this for watchmaking type style devices that I design and create, right? So the idea is I'm going to be perfecting my own suturing skills, and what I have here is some synthetic skin, which is proper stuff. This is like not the cheap thing. This has got double epidermal layer, so you can learn. That's what I need to learn. I've done the basic stuff. I want to learn how to do really deep gashes like this, look. And so this is silicone that replicates skin. It's the same sort of viscosity and density as skin. And so the idea is that with these deeper ones, you need to actually be putting the needle in quite low in the epidermal layer to stitch. And particularly on areas that are under tension for, like, you know, joints and things, and it becomes tight when you... So there's certain different techniques that you use for different types of wounds that I would really like to learn a little bit more about, so I can become proficient. But it's a great little kit, and I tell you what, I got it off Amazon. I will throw a link up when I do a whole video about it. But look, you get all your polyester braided, these are the needlers as well, your nylon monofilament, look, which is what they use in the NHS usually, depending, and these are used for different things depending on the type of cut. Sorry, you got your silk braided as well, and like I say, these contain both the filament and also the needles ready to go. They're ready threaded, which is usually how they come for surgeons, right? So I'm looking to get that done this year and perfected, and then I can teach everybody what I've learned and find a really good method that's easy to teach and everyone can learn, that will at least get you on the first rung of the ladder if you do have quite a big laceration. I've talked before about skin glue is something I really like, and I've had great experience with every time I'm doing solo bushcraft and things. I really enjoy that, but there are the occasions when, you know, you can come unstuck when you're out in the woods. Let's go on to the videos rather than live. And like this one here, for example, where sorry, it's a bit loud. So yeah, when you're doing stuff like this and you're making feather sticks like this and stuff, like I do with my Gerber, you'll be surprised how easy it is to nick yourself. And again, I showed yesterday with my wooden spoon that I carved, and I think I got myself right in there with one of the other, you know, with one of the other and you'll see. But yeah, this is a cool video if you want to know how I do with my killer kettle, which I do for boiling up the water, and I'm showing you different techniques of battening and feather sticks and things to get some really good tinder and things, and the ferrocerium rod knife I use. So please go and again, I talk about my Kelly kettle, which is always what's with me on my camp, and then we should be celebrating this channel's videos over the time. Yeah, whatever, Drew, just get on with it. Come on, we want to see it done in one go, like a pro.
I've just put some cub cord around this. I buy the ones that have got the hole in them, so you can put little.
So I think that's a 5-inch one I use.
Nylon knife because I really like this.
And yes, I have a specific knife I use just for doing the ferrocerium rod. But this is wax twine that I use. And to make sure I get it every single time without fail, I just build up a little bit of ferrocerium granules onto the end of the wax twine.
Be careful not to actually ignite it, but we're just building up some pieces onto the end of that wax twine. And when we're ready, don't push your knife in, you want to pull your rod back. And bingo, we have our flame.
So, and then obviously we cook up some water. Get some water boiling. I cooked a steak as well that night. So go and check out my Kelly Kettle one. That was cool. Everyone seems to like that one. And I'll give you a full rundown on
a little mouth guard,
you know,
for the cup when it's hot. And I also have some cooking. Is boiling up.
So that's it. One of my best friends, my Kelly Kettle. I've had that for years.
So we'll leave that there, and the
anyway. So I'm just saying that when you are doing wild camp and you're on your own, it is important you've got a decent first aid kit, right? Because, you know, I mean, I don't even know how many years of bushcraft camping. I don't want to sound like an amateur. The whole point is I'm a pro, and I cut myself somehow, some way every time. One time I just had my small axe. I don't use it anymore. It's one I bought in Canada from whatever that place is called. There's a Bass Pro in Toronto, right? I went there and I bought this really cute little axe. I thought that'd be lovely for cutting down the sort of wood size that you need to build a fire for the Kelly Kettle. And I literally I was holding the piece of wood, and I was just going to rest my axe on the top, right, to then pick up a thing to bash it down. And just the weight of the axe, it slipped off and landed on it was like here or something. It landed on the top, just the weight of the axe. And it was like, oh, come on, man. I've been here like 4 hours and I've already got a cut. And it was just literally a bit of skin glue. You can get, it's got a yellow tube and it's like super glue basically. I just did that, held it there for a little bit, job done. On with no plaster needed, nothing, it's great. But when you have that all the time, you realise it doesn't matter how careful you are, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, it's more for the reasons that you can't think of than for the reasons you can, don't forget. A lot of the reasons why we prepare, yeah, it's not for the reasons you can think of, it's for the reasons you can't, right? And that's why you've got to be adaptable. And you've got to be dynamic in your approach, right? And you've got to be strategic in your approach to preparedness. And that's what I specialize in, right? So that's something I'm really keen to share with you all. Like I say, the suturing, which would come under the medical and health, that we've got the live poll tonight where people can vote the sort of thing that they want to gain the most education on. Suturing for me personally is one of my weaknesses. It's not something I'm amazing at. If I had to, I could probably do it with my missus or my son or our dog. But it's always better to make sure you're getting it dialed down and you're being as proficient as possible, particularly with health and medical. So to me, it's not much different to electronic engineering and prototyping. And when you're building stuff, the stuff I build anyway, it's kind of very similar, right? In a kind of a way, because I'm used to using my hands. So I appreciate not everybody is a precision engineer and is used to doing very detailed things like suturing. But I think you'll find it's easier than you think once you learn the techniques and how to do the knots and how the stitching works. So anyway, always cutting myself without even knowing, says Telly Boy. Absolutely. LBR as well, always cut myself without fail. Yeah. I cut myself on hike and comments call me a failed prepper. What? I'm telling you, man. That's the whole point of getting out of your comfort zone. That's the whole point of getting out into the wilderness, right? On your own is even more because you're trying to be careful because, you know, if something happens, you're bleeding out before anyone's getting there. You're bleeding out before anyone even knows you're bleeding out. Yeah? So you got to be dead careful, and that's part of the training for me. That's part of that simulation. As I always say to people, my wild camps, when I do them solo like I always do now, they're simulations for bugging out to me so that if I can survive on my own in the middle of nowhere, just my gear and my bug out bag, believe me, it's so much easier when your missus and your son's there as well, who is an army cadet, right? And represents the country as a marksman, just so you know. Do you know what I mean? So I should call myself the bleeding prepper. Oh dear. No doubt no doubt there is such a channel out there that's probably called exactly that. Silent walk in the house. Cayenne pepper stops, please, quick. Cayenne pepper, ouch. That sounds painful. Bleeds quick, amazingly fast. Yeah, like I say, the skin glue I like. And there's also one that you can use for grazes. That stings like, you know what? It's like a powder, and it will dry up and crystallize all of the blood and things. That's good stuff, but it really hurts if you use it. I could cut myself meditating, says Pat. Oh, brilliant. I need to learn how to make penicillin. That's going a bit far. Just buy it, get in the cupboard. Keep it stored in the right sort of conditions. Sounds like that's going to sting like a, isn't it just? Yeah. So, please nobody put cayenne pepper on bleeds until I confirmed it's something that you should do, because it sounds painful. I'm not doubting you, Silent Walk, I'm just saying. What, a wolf shed bladesmith here. I cut myself peening a handguard on a sword. My wife said, better get you to hospital, but I said no. It was about 8 p.m. on a Saturday, and casualty would have been full of drunks. 100%. 100%. Wouldn't want to cut oneself with Grunsfoss Brock's splitting axe and cut one's leg off. No. And I do keep my axe in great condition. I do love my axe, I've got to say. It is the most beautifulest axe. And I'll tell you who I listened to. The person that I listened to buy my axe was Wrangler Star. Wrangler Star is a great channel. He used to just do axes. You can see it's not cheap. This is a €162 axe. €162 axe. But, you know, bushcraft, and that's my hobby, right? And so it doubles up as being my bugging out prepping axe as well. But it's the perfect size for me, you see. And this is why it's important. SKU 425 is the model that I use. And the reason it's so perfect is because I do recommend a Kelly kettle as your method of boiling water. It's so efficient. It's so stealthy in as much as, you know, it contains the fire. So you're not bleeding light everywhere into the woods where you are. Because that's a concern of mine where I'm stealth camping, right? You got to be tactical about it, right? And so the Kelly kettle allows me to do that. And so the size wood that you need for a Kelly kettle is perfect for the Grunsfoss small forest axe, outdoor axe, sorry, because it's nice, lightweight. In my Rush 72 511 tactical Rush 72 bug out bag, just the side pockets that zip up. My axe sits in there perfectly, right? And it's like I say, it's perfect size. I've got things like a saw anyway. Yeah, I've got a folding Laplander saw, so I cut the big trunk down to begin with, you know, into nice blocks, and then you can split it down with my sized axe. And then obviously I've got my other tools that I can use to split that down further into Kindle and so on, right? But it's just about buying the equipment that's specific to your needs, right? There's no point swinging a 6-foot axe about. I mean, it's not like I need to fell a tree, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's like there's plenty of dead wood on the ground, branches that you can cut up that are already somewhat dried out. Once you get into the middle of it, it's going to be dry as you like. So that's the purpose, you know. Just be aware of what your true needs are and buy the tools that make sense to be maximising your efficiency, and not burning more wood than you need to boil per litre of water you need to boil, whether that's for pasteurisation, in terms of the 1 minute boiling time at sea level, to remove any viruses and pathogens, right? And of course, as you increase in altitude, don't forget you need to increase that boil time, because water boils at different temperatures at different altitudes because of the pressure difference. Anyway, I hadn't slept for 2 days a few years ago and decided to do some gardening. Cut myself pretty deep on my finger as I lost concentration. Had trick. Yeah, do you know what? This was the same as me on that first day with the axe slipping onto my finger. I was up all night the night before trying to make up little clever attachments of things that I was planning to do. And I got it done, but it was like I got to sleep so late. And it is. This is why sleep's so important, right? Because if you're not totally... I was like that the other night when I was doing a thing about Funky. I'd only had like 4.5 hours sleep or whatever, but you know, so you expect to make mistakes and things when you're not refreshed and you're tired and you're distracted and you're panicked and you're fearful. These are all the ways that your brain's not tuned in and focused, and where things can go wrong quick. And this is the problem. If we're going to be honest to ourselves about surviving an SHTF scenario, we need to keep in mind that there is no calling a paramedic. There is no helicopter that's going to come and land and take you away for surgery. You can't afford. I mean, matey boy didn't even want to go to the hospital because of the drunks at the weekend. Yeah, so he knows what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be trying to go there when it's hit the fan, because you're just probably never going to make it back. Actually, it doesn't sting very much at all. Well, that's interesting, Silent Walk. Does it act as a coagulator then? That's the word I was looking for. Is that the right word? I think it is. Is coagulation something or other? Or something or other coagulation? Plasmatic coagulation, perhaps it is, I'm thinking. But anyway, I wonder if the pepper, it's just the word pepper, man, is just like, it's like, yeah, you can wash, if you ever have stingy eyes, what you want to do is wash your eyes out with chili pepper. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe it acts as a coagulant. It's hard to find IOD these days, especially the iodine patches. I'll tell you what, I mean, I use, in fact, even my bug out bag's just here, so I've got one in there. So this is like my small miniature first aid kit that sits on my bug out bag when I do wild camping and stuff. So this is how it looks, right? It's only small. It's quite fat, but this goes in my top pocket of my bug out bag. It's kind of like a condensed version of my main one, which would go in the main inch bag. I'm never coming home bag. So in here I've got some various bits and pieces, and I think in here actually I've got alcohol pad. This is your skin glue, look. So this is just liquid skin, it's called. It's great stuff. I've used it so regularly for my son as well, through his years as being a kid, cutting himself here and then like you do, right? Liquid skin, good stuff. Get it on Amazon. It's well cheap. Can't afford not to have it. I also keep things like scalpel blades in here. Like proper. I've got a proper surgeon's scalpel handle, and I keep 2 or 3 different types of surgical blade, depending on what you need to do, sterilised. So you got basic stuff in there like that, you know, things like scissors if you need to cut up bandages. But I've got things like a titanium toothpick and random stuff like that. I think. Can you hear that? I'm trying to say it's this shaker. So this is the wound seal I was telling you about. This is called wound seal. And I don't know about you, Silent War, but I think this is a similar thing. Topical powder to stop bleeding for minor external bleeding. Single-use application. And so this is like a powder that you put on, and that stings like a... Just so you know. My son was the one who told me that for the first time. I'll tell you what as well is good. Talking about iodine. Sorry, that's what I was talking about. I've got a bunch of these. I bought a whole box of them, which are really good. I'll show you a couple. These are cotton bud swab things, but there's actually iodine in the plastic tube. Filled. And you can see the red line there. That red line, when you break it, this goes into there and then makes the iodine flood the Q-tip. I don't know what you call them in America, but cotton bud filled with iodine. And then I also have things like here, we got a triple antibiotic ointment things, sachets. And also these cleansing wipes. But what am I looking for? Oh, I've even got little packets of salt. In case you're dehydrated. But that's not what I was looking for. Where's the proper iodine patches? I've got proper iodine patches, yeah? Never mind. But anyway, and then you got all the usual stuff in there, and then behind that you got an entire wodge of plasters. I've got things like entire toothpick set in there as well, and dental work set, nail clippers, and so on, right? Got some eye wash, right? In case you get something in your eye, and like I say, behind there, there's like loads of different plasters in a Ziploc bag. So that's basically the small version of first aid kit I have with my bug out bag, which I do use extensively. Not all the time. The last 2 wild camps I haven't actually needed to open that up, but I'm just saying, don't assume you can go an entire grid down SHTF scenario without needing something out of a first aid kit at least once, right? Oh, here we go. Look, found fine ground coffee, not the freeze-dried stuff. Clots the blood also. This is interesting. Thank you, everyone. And again, the best way to help everybody, again, is be a part of the wolf pack over here on the Discord server, just like Helen's just become. Welcome, my darling. Let's give her a quick wolf logo welcome. But yeah, in the prepping intel, great one for that obviously is the medical and health. Wherever it's gone. Why can't I see medical and health? Health and medicine, that's why. So get it in there, colloidal silver. Got all sorts of things in here talking about little tips and tricks, yeah. All sorts of advice from lots of different people. So really great place to learn about that. And of course, if you've got extra tips for your first aid kit, then do share that. Another one of the things on my video from this year, actually, which a lot of people have quite enjoyed, was this one here with Hugo Bear, with him having his hematoma in his ear. And I showed how we did a little bit of surgery. This is Hugo, our Boerboel.
South African Mastiff. And you'll see here's what you call an oral.
So he's a South African Mastiff, a Boerboel. He's about 130 pounds, but check out his hematoma in his ears where they have a bit of trauma. He's a big lad and he goes and he clonks his head down on the concrete with his ear flapped under, and I think that's where he's bust a blood vessel in there. And so again, this is my bigger first aid kit, which is in my proper bug out case. So I'm just getting a hypodermic needle out of here and some gloves and some other things.
I'm going to want a couple of...
Oh, here we go. Iodine, Providone, iodine prep bath. This is what I was talking about. I've got some in my other one. I need to refill my bug out one.
Clean before we start. Foreign bacteria.
And yeah, so this is me just performing a quick surgery on Hugo Bear. I've already given him some antiseptic cream before this, which acts as somewhat a little bit of a local anesthetic.
Okay, sometimes you want to use a bit bigger, like an 18.
This is a 21 gauge hypodermic needle I'm using here. You could do something a little bit better, like a bigger, like maybe a number 16.
Be very careful because it's very sharp. What we need to do is to pop this in here, but quickly. We don't want it to take too long. Good boy, Hugo. And here we go, look.
So you can see me draining his ear, look, right? But
good boy, look at that. Look.
So that's Hugo being an absolute... Look at that, you see?
Problem that caused it in the first place. So we're going to see how it gets on for the next day or two.
So, oh, there's him with his... he gets his sausage roll.
His Ginster sausage roll, which is one of his favourite treats.
Look how beautiful he is.
I buy one of these for him when I take him to the shop. So Daddy gets a bite first.
He just doesn't care. He's so chill, man. He's so chill.
That's a big bite.
But anyway, so that's Hugo Bear. So there's a good example of where your medical kit and a little bit of experience and knowledge can come in really handy. Because don't forget, you're going to be in a situation when it hits the fan where you're going to have to be helping your pets. There's going to be no vets you can call up. You can't like call the vet up and say, oh, you know, I know like the apocalypse is going on and everything, and there's like alien zombies walking around, but can you help my dog, please? You know what I mean? You got to be realistic. So, thank you, Silent Walk. Hugo Bear. So, have you totally sorted out? Yeah, there's a little bit at the end, perps, that I'm not sure if I want to let it to reabsorb now or whether I want to just give it one more to get it out. That would have been the third time. So I did drain it. Fourth time. I've drained it 3 times already. I could do it doing it that one last time to get that last. There's about a third of what you saw there has filled back up, but the rest seems to be okay. And I just have left it because it seems to be reabsorbing. But they do sometimes end up with a slightly gristly part of that ear, which I wanted to avoid because his ears are like velvet, soft ears, and I want him to stay like that. But it doesn't bother him at all. He doesn't even know you know what I mean. But yeah, I could do with getting that last bit out, but because we've had such bad weather, I like to do it in the garden as you saw on a towel. and it's just been really difficult to do at the moment. But yeah, I need to turn in myself, guys. Once again, apologies for the chat earlier. Good night, guys, and safe. Yeah, thank you so very much. It's lovely to have had you with us. I hope you make it back for another one. Do you know, I mean, like I say, I had so much I was planning to show you. I don't think it's fair to try and cram it all in. It's 2.5 hours, which is craziness. This wasn't what I was planning. I wanted to get my Sentry turret, Sentry security automated turret shown, because I want to do a video about that. I also, as well as some more work on my communications and my tactical communications surveillance kit, is going to include the little video camera here with the antenna transmitter and a little lithium cell. That's all good to go. Just plug that in there and you're good. It's transmitting, good for about 1.5 miles. Sorry, about 1.5 kilometers. So about a mile range. Obviously you would in the kit as well for that you get a little miniature TV. I need to buy a different version of this because I'd like it to be a little bit bigger, and there's one that's a bit lighter, which will be better in your pack or for your homestead if you want to quickly pop up a camera down the road in a bush, run back, and then you can keep your eye on it, right? And of course you can get night vision cameras and everything as part of the options, which is how we roll. So it's been an interesting one tonight. There's so much on here. I mean, of course, I wanted to talk as well about the Sigma Prepper Ultimate Water Filtration Kit, which I spent a lot of time working on this year. That was one of my camp. You know, that was one of the things I wanted to get done with the camp this year. With my wild camp, as one of my projects was to try and upgrade my water filtration system to be using a USB PD powered water pump. Which I developed, which is part of an automatic sort of like electric water pump water filtration system, so that when you're going to collect water, you don't have to be, you know, you don't have to be paying attention to it. You don't have to be able to reach the water. You can just fling the hose in, hit the on button, and you can keep watch out, you know, while it's filling up and filtering straight out of the lake, straight into your bottle, and then you're good to go, right? So that's the idea of that. There's also, talking of cameras, there's also the ROV one I'm working on, which is going to be more of a camera like this that can move, right? And so that will be on the front of an RC car. I've stolen my son's RC car, which is pretty chunky, so that's going to be on that, and you'll be driving that car remotely. The car's about this big, the camera sits on it, and it'll have about a 2-mile range. So you can go up the road, go around your neighborhood and do some surveillance and see if there's any marauder gangs on the way up and stuff like that. So I'm going to be working on that in 2025, because that's well overdue. As well, this last year, 2024, I was prototyping my new bushcraft solar power system that I'm developing. And it was successful, but there's some things I'm going to need to change. These panels are really nasty for a start. They were just what I had. And it is good enough to keep your battery banks charged during the day, right? And then obviously I use my battery banks to charge everything else. But I'm pleased with the... This is the new charge controller that sort of encouraged me to want to develop it further, because this is quite good actually. It's not amazing, but it's better than anything else that's out there. So this is a charge controller which has got various ports, but it can deliver USB power straight out of a solar power, like decent USB power. And so that was a success, but when these solar panels get hot, the efficiency reduces by at least 50%. And yeah, you can go to the lake and you can start tossing water over it to cool it down, but to be honest, they're just really bad solar panels. I've had these for ages. This is 20 watt. And this is 20 watt, this is 40 watt when you un-velcro them. I put velcro on them, and I've got these plates, velcro plates that I made out of carbon fiber. So I've made some carbon fiber plates that have got velcro on, yeah, and then you can stick these together in whatever format, side by side or end to end, right? So that was a success, but a little bit of a disappointing result. This is great, as I was hoping it would be, because this is the most difficult bit to get right. This is the 6th attempt before I'm just going to make my own. the solar panels, I'm going to need to sort some out with them because I'm not that impressed. So that's something else. In 2025, when I get to my next solo bushcraft camp in the summer of 2025, I want to have this nailed down, finished, done for testing. Hopefully, final testing. And I'd really like it to still be able to fit in my bug out bag as well, is the idea. What else we got? Loads. There's also my ultimate off-grid tactical intelligence assistant, which goes in here with a lithium phosphate pack. You can see the cage system underneath with the aluminium plates in here, which go through into a clamping system that I've got in here. I'm not going to open it up, but you've got 4 lithium phosphate cells, and this is where Tia will be, my custom security system for homesteading and bugging out in an SHTF scenario. This is some of the circuit board work on it before I manufacture the final PCB circuit board, as I would do. So this is in prototype form, but essentially this touch screen here, with all the interface that I'm designing that does all the features, that's going to be in the lid of this, along with a TV screen and things. So I wish I could show you more of that, but I'm just feeling like we've been rocking tonight for ages. I do apologise, everyone. So I think what I'm better off doing is to just do a proper video to, you know, maybe nearer the new year. I'll do a video to say what's coming in 2025. I wanted to give you a sneak peek of it now, since we're 1,000 subscribers old now. So it's a good time to sort of set the scene and get an idea from people as to sort of things that they need help with. I'm pretty rounded on most fronts of things. I have my own weaknesses and I'll be working on those myself. But I've been interested to get an idea of what things you need help with, more importantly, so I can formulate my content accordingly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the score from the vote for tonight. We've had a live poll running to ask just that. So let's get into the main hangout here then. Thank you again to Helen. Really appreciate you joining us. Let's give it some love. And so here we go. This is the live poll, and this is the results. So let's get it in there. Live poll results. Oh, let's try that again. Live poll results. Why do I keep doing that? I got my keyboard shifted right over to the other side of my keyboard. Oh no, it's... Hold on. It's not on my keyboard anymore. What? Right, here we go. Try again. Boom. Boom. So this is how the live results went. So thank you to everybody who's voted in the live poll. We'll be using this information going forward, but look how tight it is. Yeah, look how close it is between the options. So to catch you up if you're watching this afterwards, what prepping knowledge or skills are you hoping to maximize or achieve in 2025? What prepping knowledge or skills are you hoping to maximize or achieve for 2025? So security and self-defense is the winner at 29%, but look how close it was. I'm going to have to be covering all of these things clearly, but of course what we'll perhaps do is to do some security and self-defense work, and that's one of my specialties. I built and ran an award-winning security company in the Middle East, just so you know. So security is one of my fortes, and self-defense. There's so many other things I need to show you. So yeah, you're in the right place. You're in the right place, big time. And of course, what I specialize in doing is to give you force multipliers and leverage, whether you're a disabled lone woman in an apartment block in New York, or whether you're on a compound. It's about having intelligent methods and strategies which are legal, honest and decent, that's not going to get you into trouble, that you don't have to be a commando to do, which will give you a massive advantage when it comes to security and self-defense, making you far less penetratable than anyone else in your neighborhood, is the idea, right? So it's very achievable. Don't underestimate how easy it is, or don't overestimate how difficult it is to stay alive in a crisis if you just know what you're doing. Don't forget, that's the point of my quote we had today as well. So thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Thank you for everyone who's come to help celebrate the 1,000th subscriber birthday of Sigma Prepper. I've worked very hard to build this channel to where it is. I've removed many videos over time in order to keep things in check. Some of my best ones, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We've got here in the end. I'll show you what I mean. You can go on to Social Blade here, look for Sigma Prepper, and it will show you when you look at full monthly statistics, you can see where I've like had to. You see these negatives here? This is where I've removed loads of videos. Look, minus 7,400 video views, and here I did another couple as well. This is what's required, right? And so, you know, you got to be making sure you're keeping your brand clean. You got to make sure you're hold on, let's get everything put back in. Thank you again, everyone, for voting in the live poll. Just closing that down. So don't forget, we've got the after party coming up now. So if it's not too late for you where you are, I appreciate it is coming up for 1 AM in the morning UK time. But we're going to be going over into the live after party. Everyone's welcome to come. Live after party with voice. So if you just want to listen with your mic muted, that's totally cool. But if you want to come and say hello, tell us a bit about yourself or ask anything about me, that's what it's for. So please take advantage of that, because don't forget, after Christmas, that's going to be back to being Patreon VIP supporters and members only. So thank you to everybody who is indeed a Patreon VIP supporter. Lich, couldn't do it without you, so thank you. I am 100% independent. I have no sponsors, no networks, no paid adverts, no monetization, no external funding, no affiliates or partners, or nothing. And these are the ways you can help. Thank you to everyone who does. Don't forget, Patreon is a great way. Such mega value. You get loads of free stuff behind the scenes. You get massive discounts on the exclusive Sigma Prepper products. Plus exclusive access, like I said, to the Discord after parties that are usually only for VIPs, to keep out the riffraff. So thank you to all of these people making it happen. Really love each and every one of you. Thank you, because many of these names have been here since the very first day I rebranded, let's say, and they're still here on this list then, so couldn't have got this far without you over this last 2-3 years on this particular channel. So thank you so very much to all of you here. I really appreciate you. And those that aren't on this list anymore, I appreciate I took a 6-month break or whatever. But those people that aren't on this list anymore, I need to thank you too for when you were, because again, it's all contributed to getting to this channel to where we are now, where we have such a great wolf pack, such a great place to call home. And so, yeah, what can I tell you? So if you'd like to be a part of the fun, this is the ways to do it. Links in the description as always. But what can I say? Love to each and every one of you helping to keep the show alive. And just hitting the like button is lovely enough, if that's all you can do. I really appreciate your appreciation. So thank you, everyone. Do come and join us over in the after party. I'm sorry if I've missed any significant chats. It has been a bit of a scroll all the way through, trying to keep up with everything. Inspector Gadget Prepper. Thank you, LBR Stella, for joining us. But I mean, again, it's unfortunate because I've got so many things there I haven't shown you. I've got loads of things lined up on my chair there that I was going to talk about what I'm developing, and some more new products that I'll be releasing soon. I haven't even talked about the Ultimate Prepping Guide, my book that's going to be coming out. I was hoping it would be before Christmas, but we'll see how that goes. So in terms of what we got coming up this week, then don't forget, we will be having the Warzone Wednesday on Wednesday as usual. So please join us for that. We'll be talking about all the things that have been happening during the week, and what we expect to be the things that we're going to need to concentrate and talk about and prepare for. So please join us for that. Don't forget, that is 10 PM UK time, 5 PM Eastern time. This is kind of what the thumbnail will end up looking like, just so you know what you're looking for. Please join us for that one. People are really enjoying them. It's a lot of information. I'll be getting that scheduled during the week. But I'm going to continue my quest of the daily videos as I intended to do right up until Christmas, New Year, as much as I can. So thank you for those that are aiding me in that quest. Thank you to everyone's patience earlier in the video, where I unfortunately need to reiterate my position on things when it comes to the old funky business. But yeah, what can I tell you? It's I'll take a shift, perps. I'll take a shift. You know I'm always there for you. Great live. It's a head out. See you next live. Thank you, Silent Walk. Great to have you in the chat with us tonight. Really appreciate you. Yeah, so I still won't be able to get on the blasted thing. Oh, Miss Worm, we got to hook you up, girlfriend. We will. We'll do everything we can to make sure we can solve what this problem is you're having with the Discord. Tuck by V1, great to have you with us. Lovely to see you lurking in the chat there. Amphi, I've been impressed with the Victron MPPD. Yeah, that's what I've got. I've not seen this one though. Thank you. 7510, I would assume 10 amp and 75 volt. Bluetooth charge controller, USB added with a throw. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I mean I've got the 150 Victron for my main off-grid power system I run this lab with. And yeah, that's pretty tidy. So, I mean, this is assuming people don't have off-grid power like we've got. Right? Thanks for the show, says Dr. Gonzo. Thank you for being here. What can I tell you? It's been lovely. And I can't wait to get into the after party where y'all find people and seeing how you're being. And all allow me, says email. Oh, we need to sort Pat Riot out as well and see what's going on there. So thank you to everyone who's been patient with me tonight. I hope you've enjoyed as much of it as was enjoyable. Yeah, but thank you to each and every one of you. What can I tell you? You've been such a wonderful bunch. I couldn't do it without you. 1,000 subscribers, onwards and upwards. Can't wait for all the content I've got to share with you. All the products that I'm going to be releasing as well to help you be better preppers. For minimum sheets, if not no sheets, is the idea. So, oh dear, please hit the like button on the layout and the way out if you haven't done it at all. I've been Drew the Sigma Prepper. You've been an absolute wonderful bunch, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Love, peace, and progress. To the pack.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing. Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed.